Yo, welcome to Knicks at Night. I'm your co-host Stephen Fox. Our host, our founder, and our leader, Uncle Freezy, will be here shortly. The game's going on right now between the Knicks and the Warriors. We're up by 10, 79 to 69. So far, so good, ladies and gentlemen. Looking for, it's. I thought it was gonna be a lot closer, but it's a lot to go. Freezy, when you want, you can let the boys in. I'm looking at my notes from the first quarter.
Bert?
Hey, Freezy, how are you, man?
I'm good, man. Hey, I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to jinx it, but I believe Uncle Freezy called this game just like this. I think
Yo, you just jinxed it. You know you just jinxed it.
I called 105.90. I called 105.90, but I hope I didn't jinx it. If 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 I jinxed it, man, then I'll let Thibodeau off the hook. I'll take the L for this one.
Okay, that's cool. How's your day?
um, um, ordinary. How about you?
Same, same. Just getting ready, excited about the games. See how we're gonna do on this four-game stint out West Coast. So far, like I said, it's 79-71. Steph just hit a 12-foot driving floating jump shot. Barrett has 20 so far, Peyton 11, 12 for Bullock, 14 for Randall, who has 6 rebounds, 6 assists. Wiggins 15, Curry has 20, 10 for Pascal. So Burks is back. He just made a free throw, 102, so it's 80-71. We have a way to go, but boy, did RJ come out on fire this first quarter.
Yeah, man.
You
Yeah,
look, you look like you had a lot to prove, and you wanted to let Wiggins and others know that it's funny when RJ came out. The player that they compared him most with was Wiggins.
was Wiggins, right?
Yeah, he doesn't have the athleticism that Wiggins has, but he has 20 points, so he knows what he's doing without that. So
Right.
Wiggins just had a turnover, so it's going to be interesting. Robinson has only 2 points, and Wiseman has 9. So far, and 7 rebounds. So Wiseman's outplaying Robinson. As a matter of fact, Robinson on my notes. Oops. Robinson on my notes had 2 fouls by 6:32 of the first quarter. He was out, and although Bullock hit threes, man, they're doing backdoor and Bullock all first quarter and stuff like that. So
Yeah, man. Oh, geez. And so this morning we talked about the viewers spammed me this morning with Mitchell Robinson is going to have a great game tonight, right? And
yeah,
and and I told them that when one athletic freak sees another athletic freak, it's something that they've never seen before. So it's like I compared it to the Matrix seeing Neo on the roof. You know what I'm saying? When the Matrix, cornered Neo on the roof, and they thought that they would destroy Neo easily, but Neo realized he was more powerful than the Matrix. It's one of those things that I was, my weird comp. So
yeah, nah, it's a great analogy. It's 2:09 left in the third quarter. We're up 85-71. Quick hasn't been much this game so far. They brought him in and took him out pretty fast. Same
yeah,
thing with Obi. They didn't look like they had any rhythm, and I don't think Tibbs is going to play any games. He wants a victory to kick off this four-game
yep,
West Coast tour. I don't think he wants to play. Get one in the books, and then we'll go from there. And especially with Sacramento, which I think is a very winnable game tomorrow.
yep.
Yep. Curry just missed another three.
Okay.
So
We need long rebounds.
we
Long
do.
rebounds helps us.
Yeah.
So
And Burks is playing a lot more than I thought the guy was gonna play. Man, I thought they were gonna do like an Obi, just give him a few minutes here. But I think Bullock is having some problems today. So he put in Burks. Hey, you know what aggravated me, which I wrote down, and I know Randall is the man. He deserves it. He's the man. But when they threw out when Draymond Green got ejected. Why did Randall, who missed the foul shot, shoot the foul shot when you have Alec Burks on the floor?
On the foot, right, right. Um,
Yes. So I know, we talked about him doing that to Frank last year, Randall. Like, I'm the big guy here. Get the hell out of the way. I'm going to shoot the technical.
right.
But when you got a guy whose stroke is like Burks, man, you can't do that stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Burks right now, his stroke is like cognac. It's super smooth. You know what I mean. You don't need so a guy like that. Um, you just want to continue to get him in a rhythm, but at the same time, I can understand where the Knicks players are like, let's give Juju every opportunity to put points up and become an all star. He's our guy, so I can
Yeah,
understand it if he deferred, but if he bumped him, that's a different
yeah.
story.
Hey, I don't understand Draymond Green, man. Why are you getting all amped up so early in the game and getting kicked out like that?
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's odd, right?
Well, it's odd because it's not a play where you're like, man, he got hacked and that should have been a foul. It
Yeah,
looked like the two things that he got aggravated about. You're like, I don't really see what he's getting so aggravated about. So,
yeah. It reminds me of um. It, and I age myself a lot on here, and it's not intentional. I try to make everybody think I'm 35, but but but
only your hairdresser knows for sure.
right, right. They have the evidence. so, but so Draymond Green reminds me of the old Baltimore Orioles manager Earl Weaver.
Oh my
With,
God.
with,
Turning his
with,
hat around
yeah.
and
Oh my God. And so you're like, man, he got kicked out of the game in the third inning for that.
yeah.
Yeah, him and Billy Martin. You're like, what?
Yeah, those were two crazy dudes. Remember when Martin didn't like Reggie Jackson's effort and took him out in mid
Yeah,
game and
I
they were
remember
going
that.
at each other in the dugout?
I remember that. I
Yeah,
remember
but Weaver's legendary. I used to love, one of my favorite players was Eddie Murray. Great first baseman, great switch hitter on the Orioles, and he
that.
was just like Clyde, like real smooth. And when
Yeah,
Weaver used to go off, Murray just be in the background, like, "Okay, Earl, you
yeah,
doing your you doing your Earl again?"
yeah,
So, but
yeah.
boy,
Yeah,
those were some great Orioles teams.
yeah. Him, Ken Singleton, Rick Dempsey, all
Yeah,
those guys, man.
Mark Bellinger, Ed Short, and
Yeah, man.
Boog
Oh my goodness.
Boog Powell, and
Yeah.
other guys like that. Yeah,
Oh,
but they
oh,
weren't they
oh,
weren't good
Brooks
enough for your boy
Robinson.
Cleon Jones, though.
No, they were not. They were not. A pitching shut down their offense. Our pitching shut down their offense, man. But Brooks Robinson at third base. Oh my God, that's like the gold
Legendary.
standard.
Remember
That's
against Cincinnati, the plays he made in that World Series, man? Oh
yeah.
my God. Hey,
Oh
end the third quarter, folks. 89-76. We're up by 13. So far, Randall, 14 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. 12 for Bullock, 4 for 4 from 3, but he got 3 in the first like 5 minutes, and now we're going into the fourth. So, typical Reggie Bullock.
yeah.
2 rebounds. Mitch Robinson has been invisible this game. 2 rebounds, 2 points. Peyton, 11 points, 5 assists, 1 rebound. Barrett, 20 points. Man, I'm off. He only has 2 rebounds because one of my, I love your out on the limb, man. I love your ideas and stuff. So I said to myself, you know what I think is the start of? I think this is going to be a streak for RJ doing double doubles.
Right. Oh wow. I didn't even consider.
Yeah, because he has 2 in a row, and I said, you know what? He's finding his way, and those. He's bigger than Wiggins. I was surprised. He's no, he's bigger than Kelly Oubre.
Yeah.
So when they were next to each other, I went, man, RJ's a lot bigger, and he looks rested for some reason. His game, he looks a little rested in his threes. He hit a couple threes, and his
Yep.
stroke looked nice. He didn't hesitate. He's a tough. If Knox and a few others had his constitution or the what he's like, man, he lets it roll off his back after a bad game. The
Right.
other guys, I love my Kevin, but come
But
on,
not.
Knox.
But not. Yeah. But Knox will take it with him. He whatever happens,
Thank
Knox
you.
takes it with him.
Yeah, I
You know,
know. He takes it with him, and you're just like, come on, this is going to be the breakout game. All right, the next game will be a breakout game. The game
yeah,
after that will be his breakout game. So it's
yeah,
like only one game's left in the season. I guess we got to put everything in. So, but he put the ball on the, he made a three, and it was like nice, okay, nice to start the game that way, and then. Typical, he put the ball on the floor. He had a couple of times and couldn't get the shot off, and God, come on, kid, get it together. We just, at least give us a 20-point game, give us some hope. But you hit three threes in a game and a quarter. Everything's first half with him too. You
yeah.
know, uh, he just disappears in the second half, and so
He's
so
got no counter. He this boxer I used to watch a long time ago named Alexis Arguello. This is
Oh my
back.
God, I'm a fight fanatic. So
Oh,
my father brought me up in every fighter. So Alexis Arguello, and
dude,
matter of fact, I just watched a documentary about a kid who committed suicide because he got beat up because of Panama Lewis. And Panama Lewis was in the corner of Aaron Pryor when he fought Alexis Arguello
Arguello.
and said,
Yeah,
"Give me that special bottle."
yeah.
And you know what they said? I didn't realize all these years later. You know what was in that special bottle? Asthma pill. He
I didn't
gra-
know that.
Me either. He ground up asthma pills because it expanded the lungs, and so
Oh,
in the late rounds, that would give that guy the ability to get that extra oxygen to go the way. Because you're like saying, this is a brutal fight, and it's like
yeah.
this guy Pryor is like, and he was a
Right.
little guy if you remember. He was like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Oh, Arguello is a beautiful fighter, man.
Oh my goodness. I loved him, man. The reason why I even brought up the comparison or the parallel was Knox has this thing where he's excellent going one way.
Right,
But
just
right.
going to his right.
But there is no counter.
No.
There is like no stutter and then go right, or there's no crossover and go left. It's all on the right. And Alexis Arguello in those fights that you saw him lose, like you would legit see if you changed a style for him, he was a little stubborn and wanting to do what he did best, as opposed to maybe taking a step back and using a little bit of strategy.
Yeah, and
Because
his problem was he was so dominant
yeah,
that he got away with it. That when he went against a fighter like a Pryor or somebody like that, it's like no, 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 man, this guy is going to be coming. You should stick and jab, move a little.
right,
But
right,
also Pryor he was crazy, man, because Arguello stiffened guys, put him out cold on
yeah.
shots that he hit Pryor, and Pryor just looked at him and just kept coming at him.
It shook it. Yes.
So Oh, but my father, I was brought up on boxing from this side, so I always say that the fighters today, the fighters back then, because the first fighter I fell in love with was Roberto Duran,
Oh,
as a lightweight. People always say,
yes.
with Sugar Ray, and it's like, nah, he was already a little older by then. If you saw him against Esteban Jesus and a
Yep.
few of the other fighters as a lightweight, he was probably
In
the
the
best
70s.
lightweight I ever saw.
Yep. 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 Hands down. The power and speed combination was ridiculous for a guy at that weight.
Yeah, absolutely. So just folks, 89-76, 11 minutes about to go. So we're still up by 13. Go Knicks, go.
Yep.
But
Oh, oh.
who's your favorite fighters of all time?
Um. So my favorite fighter of all time is Marvin Hagler.
Oh my God, I love Marvin. I
Yeah.
just wish there was some guys that I was like, be beast on the dude. You just showed him way too much respect. Go after them.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of them was Sugar Ray Leonard.
Right.
It was
Right.
like beat his ass, Marvin.
Right. 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 What do you like, Marvin? Why are you waiting so long to get in the gear? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I love Hagler, right? Um,
Hey, was the Hearns 2 rounds legendary?
yeah, it's to me, it's probably one of my top 10 fights of all time, even though it only lasted like
Oh
what?
no, but it was like it was but also in that first round, other people would have been knocked out by Hearns, man, because Hearns. I just brought up Duran because people always say, Steven, I know you love your boxing. What's your favorite, left hook in history, and what's your favorite right hand in history? And when I talk about right hand, I'll say Tommy Hearns knocking out Roberto Duran, who had they talk about his hands of stone, but he had a chin of stone,
Yeah.
and he was already an older man. But
Right.
that right hand, and my father taught me, when you see a guy fall that way,
Right. Yeah.
he ain't gonna get up.
Right. Right. And
So,
the most impressive thing about that shot was the accuracy, not just the power.
oh,
To me, when you hit a guy on the button, when you when you hit a guy on the button, you know,
and you hate when, whether it was Holmes against Ali, you hate when you see a younger fighter beat the hell out of an older fighter.
yeah,
And it
yeah,
was like, but he was already like I said, he was a fat lightweight by that time that went up in class, and he had such talent. He beat Davey Moore, and he beat all these other guys, but he
right.
was. But I was a Joe Frazier fan. I loved Joe
Really,
Frazier. Yeah, I love them
yeah.
Philly fighters. But but I fell in love with him knocking out Jimmy Ellis, and he knocked out all these, and obviously the three fight.
Ellis was the guy. God.
He was the guy until Joe hit him with a left hook on the chin.
Yeah,
So
when you mention guys like, and not to cut you off, but when you mention guys like Jimmy Ellis, Ernie Shavers, and
Ernie,
Joe,
what a puncher! Oh my God,
oh,
could he punch? So
oh gosh, I
yeah,
mean these guys were tough, and they didn't want to bounce around. They wanted to get in the middle of the ring and show who's the toughest. Oh my gosh,
yeah, and obviously Tyson later on. Tyson was one of the beasts of all time. His right hand that knocked out Michael Spinks was a fright, but that was not a cool fight. That was a light heavyweight. There's a
right,
reason why there's weight classes.
right, right, right,
That was a savage punch, man. And I think his jaw was knocked all the way to St. Louis.
right. And,
So we're
and,
up
and
91-76, 10 minutes basically to go, so we could talk boxing. I don't want to jinx our boys.
no, I do. And notice, I am not talking Knicks right now because I'm
Yeah, I know. I don't want to jinx our guys. So, yeah. So, but obviously, Sugar Ray was special
yeah,
with those
yeah,
hands of speed. But the thing that we were very lucky was the competition. Wilfredo Benitez and obviously
oh
Hearns. Benitez was a very good fighter out of Puerto Rico, man.
yes, man.
you
Oh
know but there was some of the fights that you see or some of the champions, you're like, you know what, I know they're a champion, but they really never had the competition that we saw. uh a lot of the guys that we saw, like, man, they beat somebody that was brutal. And also, when
right,
we were kids, there were 15 rounds, and then they
yeah,
said, this is too brutal, let's make it 12 rounds and
yeah.
stuff. But wow, they were, just so many fighters. And Jose
Oh,
Napola, there was Curtis Cokes, and just so
just
many
just
great
the name of
fighters.
oh my one of the most impressive fighters that I saw in that early '80s era was a dude named Boom Boom Mancini, right? And,
Yeah.
and so, oh my gosh, the dude. So
But I
when you
knew immediately when he fought a good fighter, he was going to get knocked out, get demolished. He was a tough. My father used to use the term club fighter.
right,
That tough as nails and everything. But I knew when he fought somebody with speed, and
right,
that he was going to be just. It was like Vinny Pazienza. I
yeah,
never that guy in Roy Jones in his prime.
right.
I was like, Roy's gonna take this
But
dude, but he pulled like a raging bull. You didn't knock me down.
right,
I know, but your
right.
nose is on the other side of your head. Maybe you should. Maybe you should have been knocked down, man. Because some of the guys, Ali was one of them. That guy, he'd put his arms on the ropes and he'd look at the crowd and he'd shake, and you're like, you're saying no today, but 20 years from now, you're gonna wish you didn't take that punishment, man.
Right,
He took
right.
so much unnecessary punishment, and man, was Ali a great, 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 great fighter.
Oh
Uh,
man, so my boxing coach showed me. So when I boxed in the
yeah, I
late
know. I always love
90s,
when you talk about that.
yeah, and so my boxing coach showed me this cut up of Ali, and the weird thing is on the cut up, it was like the top part of the video was grayed out, and all you could see is just his footwork.
Oh,
Right. Oh my
it was
goodness.
like a lightweight that to be that man that big, and
Yep.
because I'll say to people, do a shuffle, man. Do you think it's easy to be that size and move your feet? Woo!
He,
like that. He was, and also one of the most gorgeous left jabs you'll ever see in your
oh
life.
gosh, from any
You didn't have a knockout punch, one punch, but after you got hit, 4,000 punches in a fight, but at the end of the fight, you were like, man, but he hit some Oscar Bonavina and all these other guys.
yeah,
That dude, the crazy dude from Argentina, and a few others, but there were some really, but it was really precious because I'd say, Dad, this guy's the greatest, and he's like, you never saw Sugar Ray Leonard. Now, if you want to see a great fighter, Sugar Ray Leonard was the best. Nah, you want a great heavyweight? Joe Louis was the best
right.
heavyweight. He could hit you 3 inches, knock you out cold. So, like, I know, Dad, I know, but we watched the films. Like, watch his hook, watch his hook, boom, watch him off that hook, boom to the body and right to the head. Watch, because like I said, I was taking boxing lessons at a young age. You
Yep.
better you better in the Bronx, otherwise your nickname will be Vic.
Right.
So my nose ain't crooked, but you know what? I could wake up every morning saying, you know what? You want to dance? Let's dance. I may lose some, but you're gonna know that because my dad in those old days, like you hit, then you finish through with the elbow. It was
Yeah.
like, it was like that. So it was like, boy, my dad passed away a number of years ago, but whether it was basketball, watch that bounce pass. Watch how he boxes out. And the same thing in boxing. Watch his footwork. Watch how he keeps his foot outside that right foot over there.
Right.
So I was really blessed to have a dad that we watched the fights, we watched ball, Yankees. He was a fanatic sports, whatever. But he loved his boxing. But he also loved the technical part. The technical part about it. Did you see that? Did you watch that? And always jab, but he was old school. Don't
Yeah.
go about forget about the head. Go to the body because
Goes
you
to
you hit the body, you'll have all the time you after the guy because one out of a million guys you can take a body shot.
right.
You hit him, they'll get that look in the eye, and then you could crack him in the head. But hit him in the head, hit him that liver shot. Because my father, his nickname in the neighborhood was the Animal because he had like a 19-inch neck. He was
Right.
a real, but he was. I just love. I miss my dad a whole lot. And
Hey
like I
man,
say to you at night,
shout out to Pops, man.
yeah, like I say to you, but it's true. After the broadcast every night, I walk the dog and I look up at the stars and I talk to my dad and my mom and my friends that are no longer here, and gives me strength. But I was very blessed to have a dad that brought the love of sports, but also the student of the sports because we talk about this and like I said, Clemente, watch him hit that cutoff guy, watch him hit the
Right.
cutoff guy,
Right.
or and you see some things where the guys won't sacrifice a guy because they don't want to. It's like the guys in baseball now, basketball. It's like there's 3 seconds left. I don't want to hurt my shooting percentage. I like the quarter run, and the same thing with guys. They'll get 2 strikes on them on purpose because they don't want to sacrifice to bring them around to the second. God forbid you win the game that way. If I can't get a hit, but you know what? It's about the team. Sometimes you have to sacrifice. You remember Juan Gonzalez?
Yes.
He was a slugger on Texas Rangers.
Yep. Number
I
19.
Yeah, I remember the changing of the game. The Yankees were beating him like 13-1 down in Texas in Arlington, and he hits a ground ball into the hole, and the shortstop gets it and throws it, and the official scorer calls it an error. He's
Right.
losing 13-1. He steps off first base into foul territory, calls a timeout, and he looks up at the official scorer like, why didn't you call that a hit? And
Right.
it's like, you're losing 13-1.
Right.
It's like some of the guys is like Jamal Adams on the Jets who they traded away. The guy before they traded him away used to get me aggravated that they'd be losing by 3 touchdowns and he'd make a tackle and he'd flex in front of the other team.
Right.
You're
Right.
losing by 3 touchdowns, schmuck. What the hell are you flexing about?
Good. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but that you see the game, but like I said, growing up, Clemente and what we were talking about as a kid,
Is Clemente the greatest right fielder you've ever seen?
yeah, I was very blessed to see, especially in like the late '60s. My dad would take me to Yankee Stadium and then Shea Stadium
Right.
to see a guy take a ball off in right field. A guy hit a ball off the wall and he throw the guy out at second. I
Right.
mean, a gun, an absolute gun, but his base running, his hitting, and like we were saying, so I'd have my toe up on the front, doing my Clemente stance, and because those days Little League, and then Babe Ruth, and you played all in all the different things, but the same thing with Rod Carew. Just we were just so blessed with the types, but also the thing that drives me crazy, the pitchers that we had in those days,
Yeah.
they didn't have relief pitchers coming in the fifth or sixth inning.
No, man.
Bob
No.
Gibson and Juan Marichal and all of these guys, man, Steve Carlton, they pitched 8, 9 innings. There was no such
And would
thing.
be mad and would be mad if the manager came out at any point.
Oh
If
my
the
God,
manager
yeah.
came out the dugout, the pitcher would be pissed.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I was really like I told you off of the broadcast that I was lucky in some of the games. I saw Tom Seaver strike out 19 Padres. I was at that game.
Wow.
My father caught a foul ball of Willie Mays.
Really?
Yeah.
Y'all still have the ball?
I think it's up in the attic. I was a typical kid. This is the ball I had with Willie Mays, Willie Mays, Willie Mays. Hey, do you have a ball? I think I got one upstairs. I used the Willie
Yeah.
Mays ball.
Yeah.
So when you're young, you're dumb. I should have saved it, but I do still have it. I think up in the attic, but it's not in the condition it should be in.
Isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that was I love that generation. All you thought about was ball. It was like as a kid, what do you want to be? I want to be guard. And I tell my nephew and others, when I was young, UCLA was, if you love basketball, you wanted to go to UCLA
Yep.
because Al Cinder, who turned into Jabbar, but Gail Goodrich and Jamal Wilkes, who was Keith Wilkes at that time.
Yep. Yep.
All of the, if you were gonna, and then it became obviously the North Carolinas and the Dukes and everything. But at one time, fans at my age, UCLA was as you were a kid, and at guard at 6'4" from Bronx, New York, Stephen Fox. And
Yep.
and you be in your room with the Nerf ball and stuff like that. But the same thing, playing third base for the New York Yankees. You
Oh,
remember Greg Nettles, man?
oh yeah, I remember him. Yeah.
Another guy with a great glove and stuff like that. Folks, we're up 98-84 by 14 with 8 minutes to go. So Freezy and I don't want to jinx it, so we're going to be talking sports, and when this is over, we can get into it. But yeah, what were did you have certain baseball players that you were crazy about?
Oh yeah, man. I was a huge fan of Cleon Jones and Dusty Baker.
That's why when we just brought up Earl Weaver, I remember Cleon against the Orioles making that last catch, and then going down on the knee because
Yep.
everybody impersonated the
Yep.
last out,
Yep.
But Ed Charles at third
Oh
base
yeah.
and, yeah. And,
And so, and so the thing with me is like the 69 Mets and so that era, man, I was way too young to understand what I was looking at. Right. But as I got older and could go, you remember when you first, as a kid, when you first went outside to play by yourself, like in the
yeah,
neighborhood,
yeah.
then that time, you go out and make new friends and all kind of stuff. So I had been out, moved to a new neighborhood and, meeting new guys. And I'll never forget this guy, this boy named Keith. He lived across the street from me. I was making, he said, he was like, hey man, Uncle Freezy, watch this. And he took um like a big wad of Tootsie Rolls and packed it in his jaw, right? And he spit on the ground and got into Rod Carew's batting stance. And
Yeah,
I thought that,
he was making believe he had tobacco in his mouth.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. But that's what kids do. Yeah, that's what kids do. You
Oh,
know.
absolutely, man.
So man, I saw him do that. I knew that was gonna be my friend forever. We're still friends to this day. And
Oh, that's
like,
special.
that was like in the 70s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, man. So all the you remember Jose Cruz?
Oh my God, of course.
Yeah. So guys,
Astros.
yes, man.
Yeah.
Guys like man, I loved guys like Brian Downing. He played left field for the Angels. Guys like that,
Yeah.
man. So I loved like the outfield guys, like the big tall guys that could hit for power and run real fast or whatever. Love.
Dave Kingman.
Yeah, Dave Kingman. Wow.
Couldn't run fast, but boy, he could put the ball. In fact, when people say to me, I see one of the craziest things I ever experienced was at Shea Stadium. There was a guy on the Reds named Lee May. He played
Yeah.
for the Baltimore. He hit a home run freezy that everyone in the crowd looked at each other. That ball maybe took 2 seconds to go out of the park. It was one of the hardest hit balls we've ever seen, and it was like the whole crowd, just went stunned. Like, I don't think obviously you hear, "Oh, that was a 600-foot home run,"
Right.
but to hit a ball that never went over like 12 feet high, but it was like, oh man, just
Man.
unbelievable. Watching those things. Hey, let's do a quick shout out to our family: Joe Curry, Joe Tucker, Yellow Fella. Hey, long time no see. Mind Motivation. Hey, no, that was a guy this morning. I'm making all these friends. A guy named um, Brad Johnston, now on the morning drive, and
Right,
I
right.
think he came on. He's calling in from Australia. He loves our show from Australia. We have
Yeah.
a guy named Mind Invader,
Yeah.
who does it from Thailand. So we're getting all of the, and we obviously have Alex Jorge, who's from Norway.
Yep.
So it's getting really exciting for us that we're getting all these friends of new parts of our family from all over the world.
All over the world, all over the world, it's the reason why. It's the reason why we like to stay consistent, like come on at the same time all the time, so that people can get that relationship with us. They know what they expect from us, and we can continue to grow the family through us being goofballs, and by them passing the word.
Yeah, but you know what they love? They know we're goofballs that love the game and also know the game.
Right.
Because nothing's more aggravating, I think, for you, me, and others that sometimes you're talking to somebody and you're always respectful. And it's like, hey, got a question for you. Would you trade DSJ and Peyton for Devin Booker?
Right.
And you're like, oh man, I don't want to have a conversation like this. Come
I don't
on.
want to. I don't want to have that. Yeah, it's like it's the. I talked to a guy
And you
one.
don't want to be a snob about it, but it's like, come on, man, let's be cool. Don't give me scenarios that are just stupid. Or, yeah, we'll give all the worst players on our team to get a good player on that team. All right, sure.
Yeah, yeah, and they'll throw in draft picks. so,
Yeah,
but
yeah, exactly.
so a guy asked me one time, right? So we were having this all time baseball conversation, like who's your all time outfield, and so we go through this scenario where I pick my top nine, he picks his top nine, and then he says to me, "Would you trade?" I think it was something weird, like, "Would you trade, um, um, like Ozzie Smith and something
Oh, what a
for Mick
fielder.
for Mickey Mantle?" And I'm like, dude, nobody trades Mickey Mantle. I don't care.
Yeah,
Nobody. It doesn't matter. You can offer me Cal Ripken and Duke Snyder for Mickey Mantle. No, I turn that down.
yeah. And the scary thing is, I know I'm older than most of the crowd. Mickey Mantle was so far back that I saw him in his last few years when he was
Right.
already at the end.
Right.
But I did see him hit a home run, and in the game I saw him hit a home run. I saw some kid on the Oakland Athletics, some guy named Reggie Jackson, hit a home run, who later obviously became a star.
Yeah.
Yeah, but seeing those things, but like I said, I used to love Bob Gibson. I just loved his. I love fiery people. Like on the Yankees, my favorite player was a guy Paul O'Neill.
Yeah.
Like you had Jeter and everything, but O'Neill would get in the other guys' faces and he'd be like real intense,
Right.
to make sure the other guys on the team. I love guys like that,
Right.
that are amped up. That's why our friend Latrell Sprewell, the American Dream,
Right.
that I can relate to him because I love Latrell's game, his intensity like
Yep.
that.
Yep.
So, but there was so many things. Remember the Big Red Machine?
Yes.
God, that
Yeah.
was one of the scariest teams bench. Tony Perez, who was just a spectacular player. Joe Morgan, who was a spectacular player.
Yep.
Concepcion, Rose,
Right.
oh my God, Geronimo, and,
Oh, Geronimo was in it
George
too.
Foster.
Yes, man. Good. Ken Griffey.
Exactly. So and pitchers, and then you're like, and my beloved Yankees, we got demolished, and it was like,
Yeah,
yeah, I love my Yankees, I love my Yankees, man, we just got killed.
yeah. And and the
But
big
you
red,
couldn't help.
you know,
You had
one,
to, as my Freezy would do, you tip the hat because they were that dominant.
yep, yep, yep. And the big red machine probably could have won more World Series. But man, you're talking about in the 70s, you're talking about dynasties. You're talking about the Oakland A's, the
Oh my
Yankees.
God.
Oh my
Uh,
goodness.
yeah, Joe Rudy
Oh,
and
Rudy. Oh,
those teams. Remember
Dennis.
Charles Finley, the owner? What a character!
Oh my.
But Gene Tennis and all the different players, and they'd have their white cleats. I
Oh,
remember playing Little League. I had white Adidas, man, and I was so proud of them that I like zoom, like going down first base,
yeah.
man.
I remember. I remember. And so there was a time. There was a time when we were so naive that we thought sneakers made you play better. Cleats made you play better. So I got some. My mom bought me some white Spalding cleats. And oh my, you could not tell me, like legit, you couldn't tell me I wasn't Roberto Clemente or somebody, man.
I know, and it was the same thing with your glove, whether it was a Rawling or a Spalding
Oh,
or a
Spalding, yeah,
McGregor. You put your
yeah,
ball in there, and you're always like putting the oil in there. And during the winter, you put the ball in there, and you put a belt around it to get that pocket.
yep.
And I was always proud. My nephew, I gave my glove to my nephew, and he was like, "This is the glove," and I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Wow, it's in really good condition." And I went, "We're from a generation where you didn't have your glove. I mean, this is a disposable generation. Hey, I
Right.
lost my glove. Daddy could have a new one."
Can have a new one, right?
And when I grew up, I lost my glove. Too bad. You better ask your friend if you could
Yeah,
borrow it on the other team. We
yeah,
just don't got that money, man.
I remember. I remember in our neighborhood, if you lost your glove, everybody in the neighborhood would look for it.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt,
You,
and also because of our parents, you had your name all over on the inside
yeah,
and everything else on it.
yeah, man.
So, but yeah, oh yeah, but like you were saying, I was always playing short or third. So,
Right.
like you said, Brooks Robinson and all those guys. What are you diving for? You could have had that play without diving. I know, but it looks so much better.
It looks so much better.
Hey,
I remember.
just real quick, Barrett has 28 so far, 28 5, 28 2 rebounds, 5 assists. Randall has 11 rebounds. He is a double double, 16 rebounds, 12 for Bullock. Not much from the bench. Toppin has 5, 3 for Knox. Typical Knox night. 6 for Noam, 9 for Burks, and 5 for Quick. So 109.94 with 324. Go Knicks, go. So let's not jinx ourselves and keep talking about other sports. So,
Yeah, man.
but it was the same thing like in basketball on ABC on Sundays at 1, the game would come on,
Oh,
and it'd be like the 76ers against the Boston Celtics or.
yeah.
And like we were talking about, the Celtics were such a dynasty,
Oh my God.
and they'd break your heart. They're like, the Lakers are winning. The Lakers are winning, and the last second shot by Nelson, the Celtics beat the Lakers.
Yeah, yeah. And I remember they used to have, like to me, the Celtics used to be like the gold standard of everything on the court and then off the court. They would have like the modern representatives of what you want society to be like. Like Bill Russell would be speaking out against social inequalities at a time, at a time was where it was risque, but
Very
definitely needed,
risque.
definitely needed though. And so you look at guys like JoJo White and
Kansas.
yeah,
I'm so old. I remember him at University of Kansas.
yeah, man. And so you watch these dudes, man, and at the same time, you watch like, see, like with me, I'm like a big Clyde fan. So with me, if I could get Clyde Frazier on the show, I would stop everything I'm doing and just retire and go on into the sunset, because I love Clyde, right?
I mean, he was my idol. Like I said, everything in my room, from my sneakers to everything to the way I walk. I try to have that same gait. Like
yeah,
I'm cool.
yeah,
He was just everything, man. On court, off court, he was just, man. I want to be Clyde when I grow up. And again, showing my age. I remember him playing Marquette, and in those days, not only was the NCAA, but you had the NIT at
Yeah.
Madison Square Garden, and
Yep.
the Southern Illinois Salukis with Walt Frazier played Marquette, and
Yep.
he won the NIT championship.
Yep.
And then it was like traded, but it was funny that you brought up Bill Bradley and the Knox,
Yeah.
and I was like saying, I saw Bill Bradley, and that ain't no Knox ain't no Bill Bradley because you know he could shoot,
Yep.
but he was a maniac. He was one of the best without the ball players I've ever seen. He
Right.
was like a maniac nonstop. He'd just
Right.
be the whole game, whole game, whole game. He'd just be making his rotations, and
Yeah.
he'd have that gorgeous, shot. And and there's not too many guys from Princeton that you ever hear make it in the NBA.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
but
You know
I
what?
was. I'm
The
sorry. Go.
I was gonna say the thing about that Knicks team and what people don't realize is how smart, how intellectual, like how academic that team was.
Oh my God.
Like Dick Barnett is a
It was so precious the other day when we were talking. It was like the whole court, that those legs kicking to the side, or he put his left foot behind his right foot when he'd shoot foul shots. He'd have these little things, and he'd have those sleepy eyes of his.
yeah.
But yeah, man, and just sweet stroke, and it was always weird because the guard looked like it had short nets.
Yeah.
It was a weird looking net and stuff like that, or Willis coming out on one leg,
Yeah.
willing the team on. But Jerry Lucas, because somebody there said, "Who do you think was the first stretch four?" And I went, "Jerry Lucas," and they were like,
Right.
"Who?" They went, "Jerry Lucas from Ohio State,"
Yes, man.
but I'm like saying, but they're like, and I'm like, well, he played when cavemen, I was around
Yeah.
when the dinosaurs roamed, but but they brought, like you said, the Busher, and a lot of people don't know he pitched for the Chicago White Sox when he
Yeah.
wasn't playing, so he was one of the first two-way players like that
Right.
that would play. And it was also the advent today when you look at so many of the pitchers, 6'8", 6'9",
Right.
6'10",
Right.
because they just whipped that ball. And Randy Johnson's like, and DeBuscher, obviously a 6'8", 6'9" type of guy. He was
Right.
the first guy like that. So,
Right.
but man, those teams.
And the Busher bought and so what people don't realize is not only did he bring a necessary toughness, but he got a lot of dudes to start sharing the ball and buying into the team concept.
Yep. And one of the things that everyone said was Earl Monroe. And again, uh, growing up, they were the Baltimore Bullets.
Yep. Yep.
No Washington Capitals. They were the Baltimore Bullets. And there was a guy I always say to people, there was a guy who's 6'7" named Wes Unseld
Yep.
that was like a truck. You couldn't, he was Willis Reed at 6'7", and
Yep.
he was like one of the toughest. And they beat us, Phil Chenier, and
Yep.
but
His
all
shoulder
these.
so wide. You were like, geez, man.
Oh,
I would hate to be his suit tailor.
I know, man. But what was the first time my dad took me to a game, and obviously we couldn't afford seats down,
Yeah.
so we'd be up by the nosebleeds. But before the game started, we'd go down and everything. The first time I saw Clyde, and my father said, "Look at his thighs."
Yeah.
On TV, it was misleading. The guy's thighs, one thigh was like Earl Campbell's size. It was like, wow, these guys are huge.
Yeah.
Like, and everyone's like, man, he's 6'8", but you don't realize they're 6'8" this way and that way.
Yeah.
Wes Unseld was wide, but also guys, it was like I said to my wife one time, I was talking, I went, there was a guy named Bob Lanier, because she said, Shaq is massive. And I went, oh,
Yeah.
Shaq is massive. But there's a lot of, I said, there was a guy named Bob Lanier who had size 24 shoes. And she went,
Yeah.
wait a minute. Did you just say, wait a minute, that would be out to
Yes.
exactly. And I said, I'm a 13. So
Right.
yeah, 24, man. So, and you're like, how does that be? But he was a tough dude on St. Bonaventure. You went to and played for Detroit.
Yep.
And it was like Niagara with Calvin Murphy. Remember him?
Yep.
Talk.
Yep. Yep.
One of
Yep.
the toughest guys in the league. I saw him beat the hell out of somebody. You did not,
Yeah. How
sometimes you,
big was Calvin Murphy? Calvin was what, maybe 5'11"?
yeah, 5'11", but do not play with Calvin Murphy. He'll lay you out. He was absolutely known as one of the toughest guys in the league. But
Yep.
what a marvel at his size and everything.
Yep.
So we got 1 minute and 9 seconds. My Freezy, I gotta have you do some lottery tickets for me. 115, 100. We're winning by 15. My Freezy called it, ladies and gentlemen. We have to give this man his credit, man.
Yep.
Wow, I was not expecting that at
Yep.
all.
Yep. Yep, 15, man. This Knicks team is no joke, man. That I think the only reason why we lost a few of those games is because
Pardon me.
of injury.
Yeah.
So injuries hurt us a lot, and I think people will blame they look to lack of depth on the roster. I don't think that's it. I think we're in a decent place. But once we get healthy, I think you'll see us turn the corner.
And the beauty of it is we're after today we're 500.
Yep.
So which is I don't think anyone picked. So far there's 40 seconds left in the game. 28 for Barrett tonight. 2 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal. Randall again. Wow, 16 points, 16 rebounds, 9 assists. He's 1 assist away from a triple. That's a beast mode, man.
Right.
16 assists. Wow, 1 steal. 12 for Bullock. Didn't do much after the first half, which is holy moly. Wait a minute, am I saying shit? Pardon me. Robinson has 18 points.
Wow.
Man, did he turn it on?
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
18. You know what we were talking about earlier is like Robinson had 2 points
Yeah.
basically in the first half,
Right.
and
Right.
now he has 18 points, 8 for 11, 8 rebounds, and let's see, Wiseman had 15 points. So Mitchell came back and said, "Hey, Rook, I know you getting all the headlines, and people are saying you're light years ahead of me, but 15 points, 8 rebounds for Wiseman." So Mitch came back to show him, "Hey, as we said in my neighborhood, I ain't no chopped liver."
Right. 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 And it's what, and I told Free Keith this morning, I was like, hey, man, when Mitch sees another guy, another athletic freak, it's gonna be like the Matrix seeing Neo on the roof.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And because Richard Robinson doesn't know what he can do with his ability, in my
he
mind.
doesn't.
And
No, I agree.
and so if he watches somebody with the same ability do other stuff, maybe it clicks with him. Like, hey, man, I can do other stuff.
Yeah,
You know.
I really think the first time he takes like a jump hook or whatever, and it goes in, it'll click with him like, hey, I don't have to do this 10 times a game, but if I do this 3 or 4 times a game, not only is it good for me and my contract, but it helps my team immeasurably because now they have to look out for me. Now they're saying he won't shoot. If the world was going to end in 2 minutes, he still wouldn't shoot. You know,
Right.
but so I'm really hoping that Kelly Oubre had only 7 points tonight. So I know they had back to back games. I don't know if they were tired. Obviously, Steph had 30. You know, you shot 9 for 19 tonight. So, but it's a final, ladies and gentlemen. 119, 104. New York Knicks. Now we're 5-4 on the road. Sacramento tomorrow night. Wow. I I think a lot of people and friends off that I was talking to off camera, off the show, said, "Nah, Knicks can get blown out tonight." I'm like,
I,
I'm hoping, now they're gonna get blown out, fellas. You're wrong.
wrong. They are wrong. Hey, Foxy, I gotta jump off for just a second. I'll be back in like 10 minutes. I just want to check on some stuff.
Is anyone in the room that you could bring in?
No,
Okay.
not no, not yet. But I put the link out there, and I'll keep looking at it. but
Yeah.
I'll be back in a few minutes. I just want to make sure that the kids hadn't taken over the place.
Yeah. No worries. No
Right.
worries. So everyone, let me just do a quick shout out to my brothers and hopefully sisters in the in. Hey, there's my Goose. How are you, Goose?
Hey, hey,
Did you
how you
hear us
doing?
reminiscing?
No, just the tail end of it because I just came knocking right after the Nick game,
Yeah,
so I missed a little bit. I didn't even know you guys were on yet.
yeah. Well,
I
there's
thought you were gonna come in
48,
a little
48
later.
other broadcasts right now going on as we're
Yeah,
speaking. So
good game
that's
though.
hey.
Awesome game.
I was just saying, wow, I'm stunned. 119, 104, folks, and I would have lost the house, everything. I
Um,
was not expecting this game tonight.
I tell you the truth, actually, I'm not that stunned. I came in saying that as long as the Knicks display the defense that they're able to play, um, they were going to have a chance to pull this out. And I think the league is going to start to learn this. I think this is gonna start to become the Knicks calling card. Is
Don't sleep on
48,
him.
48 minutes of team, not so much individual defense, but team defense. When it's all put together, you're gonna see a low scoring, gritty, grinding game. And in a lot of cases, you might see the Knicks pull it out. So I'm glad they won, but I can't say I didn't predict they was going to win. But the fact that they won is not surprising to me. What is was surprising is that they held Curry scoreless. That Bullock
What,
held them scoreless for the 8 minutes
eight
of the game.
minutes? Yep.
And by the time he
Hey,
started to
Goose,
get
you know what was
going,
funny? I made a note that Curry was scoreless for 8 minutes, and then a couple of minutes I wrote a note that he just scored 11 points.
yeah, I mean, he scored 20 points before you looked up. He was already at 20 points. But by then, they took him out of his zone, so to speak. And Bullock played really good defense. They played physical with them tonight.
Yep.
They played physical with them tonight.
Hey, did you hear that quote from Oscar Robertson on Curry?
No,
He
I had
said, Oscar, they asked him about Curry, and he said, I have a lot of respect for him. And they said, how would you guard Curry? Physical.
yeah,
Meet him, basically 90 feet or whatever, but you be real physical with him. And Peyton's a physical. I know people have issues with his game and everything, but folks, we have one of the best defensive teams in the league statistically. And I
mhm.
know it hurts a lot of people to say this, but Peyton is one of the
He's been playing
reasons
well.
on defense.
Yeah. A lot of Knicks fans tend to judge um, players and the Knicks as a whole almost on a day-to-day basis. Me myself, I've always set my evaluation periods at the beginning of the season versus middle of the season versus the end of the season to see if you progressively get better. So your players are going to have down games and they're going to have games that they excel at, and so I don't think it's fair to judge what a player is game to game. It's not. And
No, you're
it
right.
turns out
You
that
have to
both
take a
Bullock,
bigger sample. Yeah.
yeah, it turns out that really Bullock and I'm sorry,
Burks.
Peyton both
Oh,
had good
oh,
games.
oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Burks, by the
mean,
way, Burks in his first game back, 31 minutes, which is a shocker. I thought he'd be maybe 15 at most to look after him, but 31 minutes, 11 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist for Burks. And Peyton had a Peyton night, 15 points, 5 assists, 2 rebounds, 1 steal. In 37 minutes, shot 5 for 11. Hey,
mhm,
1 for 4 for 3. He was shooting threes, but I saw one go in, and I'm like, you know what? If one goes in, um, if he's shooting 25 or something percent, it's better than, it still keeps him honest. Hey, one
yeah,
second, Goose. Let me
yeah.
do just a shout out to the family. Hey, everyone, congratulations on our Knicks win, 119-104. You may be coming in from other broadcasts. Good to see us. And let me just do a shout out to the family. Pseudonym Skype, hope all is well. Our Future Gaming, Bodega Wi Fi. Yeah, winning feels awkward, Bodega. I agree with you. Hey, Zach from Zach's Coach's Desk. One of great takes. I like my Zach a whole lot. 19 Conman NYC 84, Annuity 25. I talked to you earlier today. Simma sings in the building. Sim is one of my favorites on everything, man. Simma has so much wisdom, man. I just love the way the man thinks about hoops. Quiet Money, my brother. Hope all is well. AK Sour God. Trini in Harlem, another one that I'm always corresponding with. Hope all is well, Trini. Julian Blum. Mike D, I'm going to give Quiet Money another shout out because I can never say shout out to my buddy enough. Brian Batista, AK Sour God, another one of our regulars. Simply the 13th. Okay, some names. Georgie Ivanov, New York guy, big task at hand. Illmatics, again, one of our regulars. Talk to him, on different shows and stuff. Appreciate all his support, but also appreciate his wisdom and his insight. Love his takes. Kevin Middleton, 47 Buds. How are you? I love my buds. Joe Curry, otherwise known as OG Kush, hope all is well. Robert Arahu, Alton Lee, Marge Fitzmaurice, see you a lot. Joe Madden, our brother, Joe Madden. Payback Carter's in the building. Hey, thanks for the shout out, Payback. Can't do my freezy, but I try. Hope all is well. Big task at hand. Juju92, another one. Darley, another one of the family. Darley probably put 40 on somebody tonight because he's always taking somebody to the hole and showing them the truth. Tomas Abreu, hope all is well. Jay Tucker, again, Yellow Fella. And Robert Parr, again, family. Hey, Jeremy. Hey, yo, back at you. So, Freezy and I got into a chat, so I didn't. Pedro Matos, really enjoyed you on the show last night. Hope you come back on the broadcast soon. Again, great takes. Zakaria Anwar, Zakaira Anwar. I apologize if I'm messing your name, but my intentions are honorable. Felipe 210, Will Salkin, another. Brendan Hanley, big task at hand. See what happens when I talk to Freezy. I forgot my family, so I don't. I want to come back and say hi to everybody. So, and if I missed you, I promise we'll get you in a little while when we do the shout out. But do have a favor to ask as you come in to please hit those like, subscribe, and remind the bell so you don't miss out on any Knicks at Night and Knicks Morning Drive broadcasts. And please share the link on your favorite social media platforms so we can grow the Lawrence Tears family. And thanks again for getting us past 1,270 subscribers. 1,500 here we come. We greatly appreciate it. And again, as always, a shout out to the greatest mods in the land, Sima Singh, Bodega Wi-Fi, and the new Knicks. We appreciate all you do. So Trizzy Trey, Ismail Rivas, my brother from the Bronx. Hope all is well. Emmanuel Brickley. So, hey, man. Saucy Thanos, Cash and Clay, love the family, man. And obviously, we're all excited that we won tonight, 119-104. Again, Randall with 16 points, 17 rebounds, 9 assists. Darn, he was 1 assist away from a triple double, 1 steal, 12 for Bullock, 18 for Robinson. Man, did he come on in the second half? Peyton, 15, 28 for Barrett. The bench didn't do really a lot tonight. 5 for Toppin, 3 for Knox. Come on, Kevin, man, he's becoming the invisible man again over the last
Yeah,
3 or 4 games.
yeah.
6 for Noel, 11 for Burks, and 5 for Quick, who was 1 for 5 on field goals, 1 for 4 from 3, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. Hey, he's not going to do it every game. That's why,
No.
if everybody could do it, that's there'd be a lot of stars. But hey, that's part of the learning process. But we're going into Sacramento tomorrow night. It'll be interesting to see Halliburton for the first time as a pro.
Yeah.
Buddy Hield, Bagley looks like he's coming back from injuries. He played well in the last several games. So, any thoughts on the game tomorrow night? Or the game tonight,
Um.
tomorrow? We're freestyle
Yeah,
night.
I got a lot of thoughts on tonight's game, but one thing I will put out there is that the second unit was ineffective offensively. Defensively, they held their own because they didn't give up the lead to the Warriors. They didn't expand on the lead, but they didn't blow the lead either. I would have liked to see them be. They kind of picked up their game when they came in on the second half. I like I like that set plays where quickly found Toppin on the left baseline for a dunk, and then he came right back in the next possession with a 3 ball, which to me encompassed what I would love to see quickly become a
Yep.
facilitator on one side and then a scorer on the other side. So you look at it in a small sample test. That was good to see. Um,
And you know what's funny, Goose? In the
yeah.
first half, Obi went up for like a shot going up to the rim, and it
Hmm.
got blocked, and he went down, and he had a look on his face like that never happened in college, man. That
Yeah.
never happened in college. Where are
It
these
seemed
guys coming from?
yeah, NBA is a different animal.
Yeah,
Yeah, so but the first half, the second unit when I was watching them, I was like, man, quickly looked indecisive.
He did.
He looked indecisive. He looked kind
He
of
took
rushed.
he Tibbs took him out pretty fast. He wasn't
They
there
did because
long.
I think, yeah, because I think
It was
that
it
Bullock
was
was doing, Peyton was doing a great job on Curry.
yeah.
So why leave him out there for too long? No, they just put him in there long enough to give Peyton a rest. But when I think Tibbs saw that this kid doesn't have it right now, so I'm not going to take the chance. The lead shrunk, but they were able to sustain that onslaught that the Warriors tried to put on when the starters were on the bench. Um, One thing I can tell you, Freezy, I'm sorry, Foxy, that no one saw coming was the 40 points the Knicks scored in the first quarter.
I know.
That's a record
Yeah, I
of
know.
some sort, right?
31.
That's I don't think I mean out of all the predictions Knicks fans have had about this game, that's one that I don't think anyone saw coming.
Yeah. RJ came out
And
with a hop in his step this game, man.
oh yeah,
He
he's
was
high
that
score, 28
that
points.
especially that first quarter, like you were saying though.
Oh, you know what was good to see? I forgot what quarter it was. Maybe you can remind me. Um, when he finished at the basket with his right hand.
Yeah.
That was nice to see.
Yeah. Hey,
He got
that's
into the paint and finished with his right hand,
yep.
which I would like to see more of. So that was good to see.
Yeah, I think he had 14 points in the first quarter, and the team was 6 for 9 from three in that first quarter.
Yeah, that gave him some space, And and then with the defense, I mean that they were, Curry's going to be Curry, and at this point, the Warriors are not built to replace his productivity when he gets shut down. Um, they tried, but they couldn't. And you could see the. I watched the game on MSG Go, and they were showing Curry's body language on the bench, you know, and it was still only I think that towards the middle, the end of the third quarter, and his body language pretty much said it all, because he knows he needs to be a big part of their wins until the rest of the unit can step up and be consistent.
Yeah. Hey, but we also lucked out with Green getting the two
Oh
technicals.
yeah, yeah. But you
that
know
was
what?
that was a present.
You know what? If you look at his history, especially when in the playoffs, Green has a tendency to let his teammates down in that
Yeah.
regard,
Yeah.
right?
Got to keep
Like,
your emotions,
like
man. And
right. He loses his emotions at the worst possible time.
I don't think KD is a big fan of his because of those emotions, where he's said some stuff in the past. So I
Right.
don't know if he's so endearing to his teammates, but they know he's a great player and that he's a real important part. Meaning he'll go down in history. Those championship teams, he was a key part of those
Oh
teams.
yeah. Oh
Everyone's
yeah.
going to
He's
say
still in.
Clay, and everyone will say
Yeah.
Steph, but they couldn't do what they did without Draymond doing what Draymond did, man. So
If you look at it, he's a big part of the engine that got those three championships there. He's a big part. He was always a big part of it. You might not have seen it in his numbers, but in the intangibles, his motor, um, his passing, his even his facilitation of the offense in some parts of the game when he brings the ball across the court.
yep,
He's a big part. So when he got tossed from the game, I was like, okay, that's good for us.
great for us.
So, yeah,
And boy,
yeah,
did Randall have a smile on his face, like, shoo.
yeah. And you know what? You had asked about tomorrow's game. The one thing that I'm a little disappointed about in terms of the second unit is that offensively they were not able to give the starters some rest and
Yeah,
by playing more minutes because of their ineffectiveness on the offense. Even though they're not, it's not like they're going to from. It's not like they're going from California to to um to play the Suns. I mean, they're staying in California, so that'll help. But I would like to have seen them. Let me see. Well, all in all, how many? minutes did they play
30,
tonight?
37 for Barrett, 37 for Peyton, 27 for Robinson, 36 for Randall, 31 for Burks.
Yeah, they should be okay. I mean,
Yeah,
they just got a three
it's
day
frightening
rest,
to
so they
say,
should
oh,
be good.
that's not so bad.
Yeah, compared to what they were doing,
Hey, did you see the minutes on the Nets game the other night? The where they lost to
it was double
Cleveland.
overtime.
Yeah, but 50 minutes. You know, my God, man, those guys put in some big minutes, and especially big minutes to lose the game.
You know,
So
if Foxy, if we could just touch on that game for just a quick second.
yeah, man, it's freestyle
Um,
night. Let it rip.
my thinking is in terms of Harden wasn't a big participant in that game.
Because Kyrie put up 425 shots.
Exactly, exactly. Now, there's been this whole discussion about guards and shooting guards,
And if we hear the word
point
combo
guards,
one more time, I'm
right?
gonna jump off the roof.
But a lot of times, a lot, like when you look at Kyrie Irving, when you have a Durant on your team, maybe you have a Harden on your team, do you need to put up that many shots,
But
and
I think that
especially
was
in a double
passive.
overtime?
His famous passive aggressive behavior of him saying, "I'm the man," and it's like, yo, it's about we're the man, meaning we're a team, and you got a Hall of Famer in Durant, and probably a Hall of Famer in Harden. You know, one of the great scorers that we've seen in our lifetime, and it's like, and you're putting up that many shots as the point guard. You're supposed to be the facilitator, and I think
Yeah,
he was sending a message out there to them, like, hey man, I'm the thing, and it's like you lost. You lost to the Cleveland Cavaliers,
yeah,
and when you have that type of firepower and stuff like that, come on, man. But I think those are the things that we were saying that you know what. There's a lot of games to go this year, and there's a lot of drama that's going to be happening in Brooklyn. And but here's a weird scenario. I could see the Nets going far because Kyrie gets hurt, and it's just going to be Harden and KD, and they'll have enough touches.
yeah. Hey,
Hey,
Rob.
Rob. Oh, I couldn't see. I only got a quarter of your head, Rob.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know. Oh, you could put people in now?
No, Freezy must be doing it from long distance because you know me.
Oh.
I would have been putting in my brothers a long time ago.
Oh no, I just got back there.
Oh, then Freezy did his magic. Thanks, Freeze.
Yeah, yeah, I just got back there.
How are you, my
So,
friend?
I'm good. Like I'm I'm gonna have to be Notre Dame or something. Y'all gotta rechange my name. I be right about too many things, man. I told everything that I said was part of the victory.
Yeah,
Everything.
I know. Hey, I listen to you so sharply because I love your hoops knowledge, and you said it, man. You
Yeah,
said it. Freezy said it also.
yeah, man. I look. Mitch outplayed Wiseman. Randall got a triple double. It wasn't the 30 points though, but he got almost the triple double. He got 9 assists,
Yeah,
almost one off. And that back to back cost him. You playing them back to backs? We had 3 days off,
yeah,
and then we kind of like beat them into submission. We got them right there to where we needed them to be. Mitch was a beast. So Mitch was a beast out there.
yeah.
Well, Mitch put up what 18?
18. Hey, I got a question from the the chat asking how many block shots tonight. The Knicks had 9 block shots tonight. 4 by Noel, 2 by Toppin, 1 by Burks, 2 by Mitch, and there you go. So we had 9 block shots tonight.
yeah, Noel played some good defense tonight, man.
Yeah.
Oh
Hey,
yeah, everybody did their thing.
Did you? They
Everybody
sure
there.
did.
hey, Goose, were you about to say something when Rob came in? I didn't want to ruin your flow.
Oh no, no, it was another. I just wanted to finish my thought on the Nets, but no, this is we can move on from that.
Yeah. Rob, so would you think, hey, you didn't think, in that first half, you didn't think Robinson was going to end up with 18?
Oh wow, yeah,
I think that he was gonna wear on him on the night because Mitch is real athletic. Wiseman is,
Unbelievably athletic.
yeah, Wiseman is not as athletic, and I thought that he was gonna have that Mitch was gonna do do damage around the basket. I just had that feeling,
Yep, and
you
you were
know, and
right.
he came down to he put it on him.
Yeah. Hey, did you see Rob in the first seconds of the game? RJ's eyes. You're like, RJ's he's really got his focus tonight. He's got those crosshairs in. He's gonna have a night tonight.
Oh yeah,
Although,
yeah.
RJ had an awesome game.
yeah, the only thing I was wrong is Freezy has this thing out on a limb. I just had this feeling that he had two straight double doubles. I thought RJ was going to go on a streak of double doubles. He only had two rebounds tonight, and which is surprising. He's such a big guy. And he's always in the right spot. But I'll take the 28 points. He shot 2 for 3 from three, and whoa, they look smooth too.
And he
Did
played most of his minutes as small forward.
Yeah, he did. He did. So I don't know if he was like telling Kelly Oubre or whomever was guarding him, but he was like saying to them, "Yo, watch out for me. They left me off that rookie team, and I'm going to be on a tear to let people know they made a big mistake."
Yeah,
You know, yeah, go ahead, Rob. I'm sorry.
oh no, I was gonna say Knox coming to feel like trying kind of turn into the guy who can't shoot straight on the layup. He get to the basket so pretty, put it up, and it just playing around the rim, not going in. When he get to the basket, that's what happened. He had that fast break. He better quit laying it. He should have dunked that.
Thank you. You know, I was saying earlier in the year that that kid should be watching film of Giannis. That Giannis, when he gets within a certain, he's dunking it. You're either going to foul him or he's going to dunk it. But there ain't no off the backboard. There ain't no. You're too big. You have too much wingspan. Dunk the damn ball, son. And
Yeah,
Yeah,
get
also,
on.
it leaves a calling card that I'm the man.
Yeah,
I
get
want to
on
see
that
him get into
ball.
the paint more often.
Yeah, but you saw him fumble a couple of times. He got the ball
Yeah.
and he didn't. He put the ball and then it was like, all right, he had to pick up his dribble and pass out. And it was like, come on. So this is what the third game he's pretty much invisible, Rob, in a row.
Hmm.
And our
Only
brother
11 minutes.
Kevin's not here, but come on, man. This is the whole thing. And our brother Chuck, he said a while ago he was talking about stuff. This is probably about 3 weeks ago, 2 3 weeks ago. He was saying, Knox will have 15, and then he'll do 3 3 3 3 3 15. And he's right. He just disappears, and then he brings your hopes up. He hits four, and he's also a first half guy. He'll hit the threes, but he's not doing it at crunch time, and he's not. And I mentioned this to Freezy. I don't. I think no. I think I mentioned it to Sima Singh actually that I don't think Tibbs likes him. He'll say to the press and everything about it, but he's just not playing him the minutes. I just don't know if Knox will be here next year.
He's working with him. Not he's working with him. I don't. You know we just can't jump the gun with him. He's working with him. Knox is getting the minutes that he deserves right now. Last year was uh, uh, they was in purgatory last year, so it's like he's working with him,
He
and
took
that's
only 4 shots.
yeah. Whatever he's doing is like it's a slow process with Knox. It's gonna be slow. Knox is still 21 years old.
I know, but
It's
Tibbs has that look on his face like this kid's a
no,
little
Tibbs is right
he's a
there.
little too high maintenance for me. We got to coddle him so
Hey,
much.
look, no, I don't think that. I really don't think that he's calling in him. Knox is just not right now producing the way that he should be, and Knox knows it.
Yeah, but Rob, the thing is that when Barrett was struggling, Tibbs let him play through it.
Yeah,
Why,
but
why,
see,
why isn't he giving Knox that same
this
respect?
is the difference.
Thank you,
This is
Goose.
what the difference is. A third pick that management says he's playing versus a guy that's got lost in the sauce. That's why Barrett plays. Barrett is the third pick in the draft. He's going to play. He played all through last year, and then that's a management call right there.
Yeah, but he has such a different
Yeah, and
attitude,
he
such
is.
a constitution, man. He's
Not to say that he doesn't deserve it, but this is why he gets to work through his game.
yeah. We
Last
all
Hmm.
night, I'm
take it,
sorry,
Goose.
last night when the guys, remember Rob, when the guys were predicting who was going to finish with what,
Yeah.
and I had said You can't really do that with Knox because there's times he can't even get off the bench. So if you're going to start saying, well, he's gonna finish with let's say 15 points, which some was saying, I was like, well, if he can get some playing time, he might be able to do that. He only got 11 minutes tonight,
Yeah.
so he's very. He's got. I don't know, man. I hope that I hope he whatever I hope whatever's keeping him on the bench, he's able to overcome because we still have a lot of season left and we're gonna need him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Knox got to he
Hey
got to
Rob.
earn minutes.
Hey
He's
Rob, did I
earning.
write did I write this wrong last night? Did you say that Randall was going to have 25 to 30, 12 rebounds and 5 to 7 assists?
Yeah, something around that.
Yeah, but you know what? Don't go. I'm looking at you being accurate. I'm not looking at you
Mhm.
being wrong. That when you have 17 rebounds, 9 assists, and 16 points, you called him having a great game. So I'm not going to get
Yeah.
into the semantics of the actual numbers. He had.
Hmm.
You were saying, well, I don't care. He had a monster game. As we said earlier, it's a lot easier to have a monster game when when Green gets knocked out, ejected from the
Oh
game
yeah.
early.
But you know what? I think if Green would have stayed in the game, he'd have got worked on more. Because Randall is a big you can see the two together.
Did you see them early in
Man,
the game? They
Randall
were
is
like talking to each other. Yeah.
yeah,
So, but
yeah,
like you
Randall. I
said,
mean,
Randall's bigger than him.
yeah, Randall's a big old guy.
Yeah. Yeah. He's man. That's a rock. You would like I said. I think I was talking to Ron Cleveland, and I said if Randall went coast to coast, got a rebound, and he was going full speed coming down, would you take a charge from him? And he went, no. I'd
Mm.
let him score, but I'd get the hell out of the way with that coming at me, man.
Yeah,
Because
that's a freight train right there coming at you.
yeah, there ain't gonna be much left of your body, soul after that hits you. But
Yep.
wow, this is so. Any thoughts, Rob, about tomorrow night?
Oh, tomorrow night,
We're
we
hey,
got one. We
we got
got
one,
one.
but you have great insight into hoops. So we knew, and I brought up earlier, and forgive me for repeating myself, but did you hear what Oscar Robertson said about how he guard Curry?
What'd he say?
He just said he'd be very, very physical, and even though he scored 30, Peyton, but tomorrow he's going from a frightening guy like Curry to a blaze in De'Aaron Fox, who's just his speed and everything. He scored 40 something a few games ago. So it's going to be another test, but a different type of test going against a guy like Fox, whose speed is just even. Clyde said a couple of telecasts ago that he saw Fox and was like, "Wow, dude, I don't think there's anyone in the league that's even near his speed."
You gotta have to knock him around a little bit.
Yep.
Physical defense like tonight.
Yeah, because Curry had 30, but it wasn't Curry's typical 30. Because really he had 22, but then he just started firing away at the end.
9 for 19, 5 for 14 from three. So yeah, we'll take that all day with that guy.
Hmm.
So, but
Yeah,
so
everybody was saying that they was gonna kill us, but when you playing them back to backs and you're a veteran team, I think it weighs on you more than a younger team. I think a younger team can fight through it a little bit more, being that their legs are in better shape. They might be a little bit more skilled, but I think like in that situation, because it seemed as though Golden State couldn't even really run with us. After they played last night, they really couldn't run with us.
yeah, their legs didn't look as fresh as ours, that's for sure. Hey, just a quick shout out, Kane Jerry. Salute to you. Thank you. Back at you, brother BKL Contreras. Hey, question for us from 47 Buds. He said Fox likes to get into the paint, but he's not going to be able to do that against us. You agree with that?
Yeah. Actually, I was just thinking about that. Listen, I'm gonna stick with what I've been saying all season, and that is, as long as we play good team defense, we will be able to keep teams below their average scoring averages and pull out wins. And it all starts with this particular team. It all starts with defense. Because you're not getting tonight. Tonight is rare because we got good productivity across the board from oh like wow almost except for the most of our veterans were in double figures tonight. The starters were all in double figures, and Burks and no and Burks
Yeah.
finished with 11.
Yeah, it was
So
beautiful.
yeah,
Beautiful.
so if we can maintain that scoring type of scoring, if Barrett is truly on the road to playing to his potential and takes some of the weight off of Randall, and Randall maintains his reliability, I think we could pull out a win. I think we could pull out a win tomorrow. I've always said it's the defense that's going to get us to where we need to be, and so far it looks that way.
Yeah. 47 Bud said he thinks Fox will score 20, but that's livable tomorrow. Harrison Barnes is their leading scorer. And Bodega Wi-Fi said Halliburton's way too fast for RJ Bullock. I like Halliburton's game, but I never looked at him as a speed demon, Bodega. I hope I'm right and you're wrong on this one because I love my Knicks, but it'll be interesting. Hey, you heard me repeat that I I didn't have Obi on my board. I thought he was going to be taken, and also I had some concerns about him as a tweener. Halliburton was number one on my draft board, so when he was there, I was like, we're taking him. We're taking him. And the pick is Obi, and I went, oh man. So it's going to be interesting to see the kid. He's got great game. He makes the players around him better. But Bodega, I don't look at him as being quick. I look at him as being savvy, huge wingspan, almost a 7 foot wingspan for a 6'5". Excellent shooter, excellent shooter from all over. He has beautiful touch. So it'll be interesting. But Harrison Barnes, the old pro, is their top scorer. And Anthony 212 is Tyrese is going to be first team. Not only first team, there's a good shot he's going to be rookie of the year if he keeps this up. So
Well, I like to see that Tibbs is expanding his rotation to 10 players, and we have a better chance of pulling this win out if we can get better productivity from Knox tomorrow or today, and also from Quickly. Knox has to do better than 3 points in 11 minutes, and Quickly has to do better than 5 points in 11 minutes
he had Knox had 3 points in 11 minutes. The
with one
last game
rebound.
with one rebound. He had 2 points in 10 minutes and no rebounds against the Magic. He had 3 points, two rebounds in 15 minutes against the Celtics. Um, I'm glad my brother Kevin Wright's not here because it'd be interesting to see how he would try to justify against the Cavs. He had 6 points in 18 minutes and four rebounds. He's just, and I know I heard you, Rob. I know it's a process, but
I
he's
think that it looks like Tibbs is playing Knox more minutes against younger teams. When the veteran team comes, it seems like he leans more towards the veterans. When he's going up against a young team, it seems as though more young players play with more minutes.
oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Do you realize that Chuck called it? He said 3-1-0 for Knox. Oh
Did he?
Yeah,
boy.
he also called the loss too.
Well,
Yeah,
one
that's
out
right.
of one out of two for my boy Chuck, but he did call and Ghetto Intellect. Thank you for. I wrote it down, but I just looked at the line where I was looking at the Randall prediction. But Ghetto Intellect, otherwise known as GI, or other circles known as GQ, because he's always styling. Chuck did call it exactly at 3-1-0.
3-1-0.
Congratulations, Charles B. Chuck or King Charles or the People's Champ, whatever you want to call him. You nailed that one, man. So one out of two ain't bad.
Hey Pedro, come take your medicine. Come on forward. Freezy waiting for you. Come on back here. Come to the woodshed, Pedro.
We got the switch already.
Yeah.
Uh,
You know,
So
one thing I'm noticing about Tibbs, and this can be, I don't know, could be just my opinion, but it seems to have a quick hook. Like when the younger players, the rookies and the second year players and third year, but when they're not productive early, he seems to have a quick hook,
yeah,
and then he goes back, and especially if his starters are playing well.
yeah, I think you see the difference between him and like Fizz, that he's like an old school disciplinarian that I'll sit you with a blink of the eye. I'm not gonna baby you or anything. If you do bad, the last game I'm like, Quick had 11 points in the first half and pretty much didn't play the second half. But I thought some of his shots were the shot selection was questionable, and I'm only speculating, obviously. But I think Tibbs said the best way to teach these kids is if you ain't gonna play. I'm not gonna say to you, hey, don't do that, and still let them play. So I think Tibbs is, like you're saying, very quick hook with the kids to let them know, you know, you got to do what I tell you to do, and if you don't, you're gonna
Yeah,
be on the bench. And I don't care if you're in for 3 minutes.
he played better his second time off the bench, so that could be it. He did
Yeah,
play better.
yeah,
And then with Burks back and Bullet playing, that was gonna limit Knox's minutes anyway,
yeah,
because 11 minutes, 3 points. It's all about the minutes. You can't expect Lee to quickly to come in the game every game and give you 10 points in 10 minutes, 15 points in 15 minutes. But if you're not getting minutes, and that's something that Tibbs is going to have to find. He's looking into the situation where, as though, like I said, tomorrow is a young team playing. I expect Knox and them to have more minutes
yeah. I hope
and
so.
more playing time.
Hey, there's some speculation that Frankie will be coming back. Do you think
Well,
he'll get any minutes when he comes back? And
well,
if
he's
he
going to
does,
be on that padded seat next to DSJ.
yeah, so that was my question. Do you think he'll be on that padded seat next to DSJ, or do you think that he potentially, because he does have the talent on the defensive side of the ball, that he'll get some minutes? And if he does, who do you think he'll take it from?
I say padded seat, MS.
I think as long as he's out with that sore Achilles, the possibility of Frank coming in is always there.
Good,
Um,
good point.
so I think the Knicks see Burks in the way we all see Burks is that he's very susceptible to injuries, and I don't think they want to put him in situations. You know what I mean? They want to use him, but not put too much of a minute load on him because he's got a history of injuring himself, and they don't want to lose him for a long stretch again. So,
It's a weird way to show it by playing him 31 minutes the first time he hits the court.
well, you know what? Yeah, but Foxy, the thing is that I think behind the scenes, Burks was prepping. You know what I mean? I think behind the scenes, they were getting him game ready. So it's not like he was sitting, not doing anything, prepping himself for a large minute load. I think he was ready to go probably a little while before he was listed as probable. I think behind the scenes they were getting him ready, and I think the same thing. See, the thing is, I think what Tibbs is, let's say for instance, if I'm injured, he's not going to put me in the minute the injury report says I'm ready to come back. He's going to put me in when he sees I can do what he needs me to do.
Probably in
Then
practice.
when my stamina is up, when I'm
He
able to
didn't do that
perform.
with Rivers.
Hey, did you see
Um,
Rivers talking to Steph before the game?
Yeah, they brothers-in-laws.
I know that, but it wasn't like he had a walking boot on, with his Achilles, his sore Achilles and stuff. So, so it wasn't like he had a walking boot on or nothing like that. So I don't know whether or not, because they're saying Tibbs may be playing some games, who's sitting, who's not, to get his rotations as tight as he'd like.
Mm.
I mean, coaches have been known to play those types of mind games before.
Yeah. Hey, just a quick shout out, Pedro Matos. This is for you, Rob. Again, you were great on last night. Hope you come back again uh, for your super chat. We greatly appreciate it. He says, I'll gladly take that castor oil. I had them going 2-2 on this trip and losing tonight. Happy to be wrong. Great win. Pedro, thank you again for the super chat. And um, we're all in that boat. Sometimes we're right and sometimes we're wrong. As we just said with Chuck, he nailed Knox, but he got the game wrong. So I'm glad he got the game wrong and he got Knox right.
Yeah, right.
so
You know, in the back of my mind, I'm not one to make predictions, but in the back of my mind, I thought that I it would be great to see the Knicks sweep this 4-game West Coast trip, and
wow.
not about whether or not they, like I said, I'm heavy on the defensive play of the Knicks, and like I said, if they do go 3-1 or 4-0, when you go back and look at that stretch of games, you're going to see that in most cases it was their defense that held opponents below their scoring average. And so far, if you look back at their record in each game they played, in most cases, the Knicks have held their games where they won, they've held their opponents below their scoring average.
Yep. Hey, obviously there was some garbage time, but basically 104 points for a team like this that could put the ball in the hole like that. Uh, yeah, for sure, their defense, and
Three,
that's why a couple of people, that I know that hate Peyton, I'm like saying, hey, Peyton frustrates the hell out of all of us, especially on the offensive side. But look at our record in the league, whether it's lowest field goal percentage, lowest 3-point percentage, the lowest points per game, the Knicks. Peyton has a lot to do with that, folks. And I know you may not like him and whatever, but his physicality, his size versus other guys, um, you know, I was also nervous at the beginning of the game because I thought it, and our brother Ghetto Intellect mentioned that Wiseman's going to hang out and Mitch is not going to be in the paint, and there's going to be a turnstile of people going to the hole. And it looked like Bullock was getting victimized early in the game with backdoors galore. And it was like, wow, without Mitch there and out of that paint, and Norland's Noel can drive you crazy sometimes too. I think he's going to be a one and done. He had 10 rebounds tonight, Noel, and he had 4 blocks. And for a second string center, you can't ask any more. But he's just so thin, man. God. Ghetto said, I don't think I would be that close to my brother's wife's brother if we all did not work in the same industry. That's rare. Yeah. But it's a different game. It was funny. I saw Mitch help up Wiseman from the floor after a foul, I think in the first quarter. And I laughed to myself that you're lucky you didn't play on a team with Charles Oakley, Mitch, because Oakley would have walked over and smacked your hand. Like, don't you help him up. We don't do that
Mhm.
on this team. Don't you dare help that guy up.
Mhm.
So, but it's a different game today. After the game, you see the guys hugging and talking and laughing, and it's like the old days. You were the enemy. Maybe in the off season when nobody's around, I'll say hello to you. But even then, they had attitudes like, "Nah, man, you're the enemy." They were real. They were the enemy, and that's not the game anymore. You know,
yeah. The Warriors' scoring average is 112 points a game, and the Knicks held them to 104. And that 104 basically came at the end of the garbage time when when Kerr emptied the bench.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Great game, great game.
yeah, but like you were saying, and as Rob was saying, if the everything lines up, if there's a way we can come out of it 3-1 or whatever, God forbid 4-0, what it would do for this team's confidence would be amazing. I think they're believing each win, they believe more in each other, and and now that they're getting healthy, they're getting back all the different things, and Tibbs can really solidify his rotations, first and second team like he likes. Then that's we could be a real surprise team this year, man.
Rob, let me ask you a question. Stephen and Rob, I'm actually both the same question, of course. At what point do you think the Knicks are going to start to change the national narrative in the sports media about? because you don't hear much about us outside of MSG and fan produced media. You don't hear much about the Knicks in terms of how well we've been doing, and we've been playing above expectations. So I'm wondering, and I'm asking you guys, at what point do you think a 3-1 record on this West Coast trip is going to push us in the headlines in terms of ESPN, let's say, and
Oh,
change the narrative on us?
you will
Like, what is
hear
it going to take?
if they win over the weekend, the next 3 games, Monday you'll be hearing about them on the jump. But it will be a little bit more than it was the first time because now they have to start doing their homework a little bit instead of just looking at the box score saying, "Oh, they won." Now it's who they beat. Okay, look at the they. You're gonna have to say you're gonna have to put into it Boston. You're gonna have to put into it Milwaukee. You're gonna have to put into it Golden State. So those are viable wins that they would be forced to talk about. But they would talk more about Tibbs than the team. That's what they're gonna do first. They might put up a player. They might like talk about Randall or
Randall.
RJ, but they're gonna put most of it on Tibbs right now.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, but to your thing, I think, and Rob brings this up a lot, which is he's right about it's early in the season, but I think when we hit like half season, 36 games in, and if we're where we are right now around the 500 mark, because right now we're eighth, but now the standings, it's getting real. You're starting to see the numbers. Sixers are in first at 10-5. Celtics 8-5 in second place, but then it gets tight. Bucks 9-6. Pacers 8-6. Nets 9-7. Hawks 7-7. Cavaliers 7-7. Knicks 8-8. Magic 7-8. The Heat 6-7. Hornets 6-8. Bulls 6-8. Raptors 5-9, and then the Wizards 3-8, and the Pistons 3-11. But Wizards, man, to have a guy like Beal, and is Westbrook playing or is he out? I think he's
I think
playing.
Westbrook was out. I haven't heard that he got back yet.
Yeah, but you still have Beal and stuff. Wow, 3-8. Um, there's probably going to be some trades going down for some of these players. But what I was saying though, you have a lot of people around that 500 mark. So once we hit around halfway through the season, we'll see the ones that are ascending and the ones that the reality's coming back and are dropping.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So Jay Williams said after at least 30 games, if we maintain, they'll start talking. They're scared to be wrong. So thanks, Jay. Appreciate that.
Yeah, because at this point,
Yes.
every time I hear something about the Knicks, I'm always waiting for that but.
Yeah.
Oh, they're playing better, but, or you know what I mean?
Or
And
Dolan.
a
Or
lot of
yeah,
these
but they
sportscasters,
still got Dolan or something stupid like
yeah,
that.
yeah, exactly. And a lot of these sportscasters, um, they tend to not just report on the Knicks, but they always have to, the Knicks are easy to dump on. So they're easy to put their own personal opinion on the Knicks. And now that the Knicks are starting to play better, if they could sustain it, the last thing they want to be is wrong. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Um, so to me, it doesn't really matter. It would be nice to see the Knicks get some good press, but to me, it really doesn't matter because if I see a bandwagon jumper, I'm gonna kick him straight off. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of I'm telling you, once we start, if we can sustain this, there's gonna be a lot of people trying to jump back onto the bandwagon, and we know who they are. And I'm
Yeah.
talking about national sports media. We'll see,
Hey,
but
fella, do you think the way it is with analytics and film and everything in the NBA that they're gonna start realizing Quick's game with his floaters and stuff that they're gonna be taking away a lot of his what he does that he may be going through a stretch pretty soon of they got the film on him, they have his tendencies, and they're gonna that's gonna impact his productivity.
yeah, because the one thing I'm waiting for to see from quickly is faster decision making in the facilitation and movement of the basketball, and him getting to the hole with different types of layup packages other than
The
shooting the
floater.
floater from 15 feet, 12 feet, 10 feet out. If he wants to cement him, let's say, for instance, in his mind, and he's convinced himself that he wants to be the Knicks starting point guard in the future, he's going to have to show that he can get to the paint and finish at the basket in the various ways. Reverse layups, your standard layup, different things like that. Because
And also
if
pull up jumpers
yeah, yeah,
rather than the floater from 15.
yeah, because right now he's got his 3 pointer, he's got his floater. And so if he sticks with his floater long enough, you know what the narrative is going to be? He's scared to get to the paint.
Yeah.
Oh, is quickly scared? Does he have the heart to get in with the trees? You know what I mean? To go into the forest? What's he afraid of?
I don't
So
know
he
what
needs to,
who's.
yeah.
I don't know what you mean.
I'm
Because
saying as a point guard, Freezy, I want to see him starting to show that he could finish at the basket, other than relying on just his floater game.
how
That's what
about
I'm saying.
we let him get through, like, because this is what, game 10 for him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. How about we? And I'm not saying what you're saying is wrong in the long term.
In the
I'm just
long term, that's what I'm talking about, Freezy.
right. I'm sorry. In the present, though, in the present, how about we just allow him to find out where the bathrooms are? You know what I'm saying? Let him find out where his locker is first. It's only been like 10 games, bro. I mean, I understand where you're going, but
Mm.
the long term answer, say in 2022 and beyond, I think quickly will self correct.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
but you know
but
what Steven was saying is, let's say, for instance, if teams strategize against quickly and take his floater game away from him, will he be able to stay on the court with other aspects of his game? And I'm like, that's one aspect I would love to see him in order to overcome teams taking away what he's already shown them.
right, no,
Okay,
Mm.
I
bro.
I think if and so we have to look at it like this too. If teams are already game planning for quickly, that means we have something.
Right.
Oh, agree. Totally.
Yeah. 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 For sure.
So I think tonight was his 12th game freeze, but on the
Okay,
season, he's averaging 10 points, 1.6 rebounds, 2.6 assists, 40% from the field, 34% from three. So I'll round it off 96% from the foul line. So we knew he was a great foul shooter. But we want to see that 3 point percentage be a lot higher than 34%, though.
yeah, yeah. I think that's a correction that can be made in the film room by shot selection.
Me too.
And,
You're
and,
right. Because a
and
couple of the ones you're like saying, man, that was like 4 feet beyond the 3 point line that he just put up.
right, right. And timing is everything too. Well, hey, what's up, boss?
Peace.
What's
Peace,
What
up,
up,
Prince?
brother.
what up?
Peace. Peace.
Hey, what's up, Prince?
You know what
What's
it
up, Prince?
is?
Oh
Yeah.
man, I want my boy the Prince Bun on here, man. Hey
Hey, well,
Prince.
you know, most of the time Freezy be at work, and I know that link be locked up. So you know, I show my love and spread my little lingo in the chat, man. But
Yeah. So what'd you think about the game tonight?
hey, man, this is a great win for us, man. Like, we like it. This, I think we're gonna start a fire. You know, as I was telling the guys on Sim Show, I think this win really is gonna set us on fire. We really may run the gauntlet, and I mean, like, this is a serious take. Because again, if we could lock Steph Curry up the way we did, and honestly, he had 30, but we still locked Steph Curry up because again, Steph Curry should have had 58 on us. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's Steph Curry, so let's be honest. But to keep him scoreless up until the 8 minute, you know what I'm saying, almost 8 minutes into the game, and you know what I'm saying, that was great defense from Elf for Payton. So a lot of us who are hating Elf, I think y'all might want to back off of Elf and leave old Elf on the shelf alone because again, that guy's hooping right now.
Man,
Um,
but Prince, Alfred Payton looks like Jack from Blackish.
yeah, I feel you on that. I feel you on that. But again, you know what I'm saying? Like the dude did the thing, and the thing that we needed tonight was somebody who would harass Steph Curry, and he harassed Steph Curry. He went crazy in the third quarter when he went on that little 12-point stretch, you know what I'm saying, where he tried to get him back in the game.
Right.
But, even then, Elf came in, shut him down, you know what I'm saying, Uncle Freezy.
Right.
He ain't sexy, but again, the dude, he gets it done, he gets it done.
Yeah,
Or at least he got it done for us tonight.
So what's your thoughts about him going against Fox, the Blazing Fox, tomorrow?
Hey, that's personal to me. I don't know about you, Rob the Nick. You tell me, because I know you and Uncle Freezy, you know too. Foxy, you're a Twitter head too, and y'all out there in the
He's been bad mouthing us, man.
Thank you. So Foxy, this is personal.
Yeah.
This is personal. I really wanted Frank to do the clamping, but Elf on the Shelf is gonna have to do. So, hey, Uncle Freezy, you're gonna have to jump on the train. I want to cut his tail off. Cut Fox's tail off. Pause. You know what I'm saying? But for real, like we gotta go in there and we gotta shut that dude down, because again, he was yapping off to us fans. And I hope Julius and somebody takes that serious and they put that as bullet board material.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, the man who literally called Knox 310. Ladies and gentlemen, you may know him as Charles B. Others may know him as Chuck. I call him King Charles. Hey, props.
King Charles.
310.
What's up, Chuck?
What's up? Impressive.
It was impressive, man. It's
Right?
like, a matter of fact, JD in the chat said, "Could you pick him some lottery numbers after the broadcast?"
Hey, it's his first time being right in how long?
No,
come on, man.
He was wrong about the game.
No, I don't think the score a few times.
Well, he was right when he said I was very.
Chuck, I don't want to call you a liar, bro, but I have called you a liar. You lying. You said, if you got this one right, that was like you said. I need that mega ball number, brother.
No, I picked the score a few times.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, not tonight though. I was off tonight, way off.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Chuck was right when he said I'm a really handsome guy, though.
That too.
Almost with triple dub. Curry was in cuffs. Curry was in cuffs tonight.
He wasn't in cuffs.
He shot 5 for 14 from
Chuck,
3.
here you go, man. You come on here, man. Like I said, I just put it for you. The dude was held to no points 8 minutes into the game. He went on a 12-point run in the third quarter. They ain't got nothing to do. They don't have nothing to do with Chuck. They don't have nothing to do with you scoring the ball because you ain't shooting. That's your fault. That ain't our fault.
Okay,
Chuck, whose fault is that?
For one, if a guy gets over his average, you cannot say you put him in cuffs.
5 for 14.
He got over his average.
Yeah, but he got that in garbage time.
Exactly, and that's the thing too. Like he shot free throws. Most of them was free throws in the first half, and then, like I said, he went on that 12-point run. And then, like I said, I think he had 2 points in the fourth quarter.
He had 8 free throws the whole game.
That's what I'm saying. He had 8 free throws in the first half, Chuck.
You saw his body language. His body language didn't show you that he thought he had a good game.
That he killed us. That dude was sick.
He had his face down. No, he was like,
"How you shut somebody down when they had 30 and they averaged 28?"
We sit them on the bench and they take an L by 20 or 30 or how much ever they got blasted by tonight. That's how you shut a dude down.
You know what else?
What did he say in the press conference? I bet he said he would have traded that 30 points for a win tonight.
Either that or I wish Green shut his mouth because he had 8 assists and 17 points, Green, before he was ejected.
And I tell people that everybody was like, well, we were winning when Green was in the game. I said, now still, that would have been a different ball game if Green would have been there. I mean, regardless, we would have. I mean, I hope we would have won it, but we would have had to fight it out. It wouldn't have been a route.
He would have made it.
Yeah, he would have made it. Yeah, he would have made
it.
He
didn't have enough legs from last night. They didn't have enough legs from last night.
No,
we had to warm down.
Yeah.
Now, Foxy, I don't want to get too off filter, man. And I know I'm not. This might not be the late night etiquette, but I hope I was starting out Uncle Freezy. But I kind of see why they wanted to trade up. I kind of wish they would have, because that boy Weissman is bad. and he gonna be bad. Like, I mean, Mitch outplayed him, you know what I'm saying? He outplayed him with the oops and, you know, a couple rebounds, but hey, Weissman is going to be tough.
Yeah, but they didn't want him.
You can't teach
Yes, they
feet.
did want him. They wanted him and Lonzo. They like if the money was right, that's who they wanted to go up for. They didn't want to go. They just couldn't because the money wasn't right, and they didn't want to trade the assets to move up. But those were the two assets that they wanted. They didn't want anybody else.
Hey,
If the Obi fell to him, it was perfect.
hey, can I ask y'all a question though? Can we please stop with this? Oh, Kelly Oubre will shut down RJ Barrett. Some random wing player that's got some kind of aggression issues is going to shut down RJ Barrett. Can we please at least, even if we don't stop saying it, can we at least address it? Dude. Yeah, dude, the Barrettiers are in the building.
I think I just had some margarine.
Yeah.
Nobody said that.
No, they said it on the Knicks morning drive. They was alluding to this was yesterday, alluding to that cats like RJ Barrett and whatever 3-and-D guy a team has is going to shut down RJ Barrett. The thing is when and I said this morning, when Mitch is at least visible on the offense, then Mitch's man can't double team RJ Barrett at the rim, and you'll see a difference, right? Like tonight, like what I said this morning on the Knicks morning drive, and I'm not saying that I'm a prophet or anything. I'm just saying I think I saw something that nobody else saw, and I just want to make sure that I'm right. What I said was, Mitch is an athletic freak that's unskilled, right? But I compare it to the Matrix catching Neo on the roof. You remember how those dudes saw Neo on the roof in the Matrix, and they were like Mr. Anderson, and they thought they was gonna cut his ass. And then when they went after him, they found out that Neo was actually the Matrix. So we had been watching the movie backwards the whole time and didn't know it. And so when Neo tapped into his thing, he wound up cutting it behind. And the thing I was saying with Mitch is when Mitch sees another athletic freak do other stuff, something in him may click and say, you know what? I can do the same stuff that they're doing if I work on it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I was getting at. That's all.
I hear you. Yeah, I could definitely feel you on that. Because again, I don't think Mitch is. It's not like he don't have the like you said, the athleticism or like you said, the coordination to do those things. But I'm just like that boy Weissman, his body, you know what I'm saying, his physical stature already at 19. But again, I pray Mitch does develop an offensive game, because if he does, he just opens our game up tenfold. And once he starts to, you know, do something with the ball.
Yeah. Hey, Julian Tran, OG from the chat, said, all I heard last night was RJ couldn't handle Oubre's or Wiggins' length. I guess he proved them wrong. You saw, I said it earlier, Prince, he had a look in the first minute of the game like a killer. He had a...
Hey, he said it. He said it in the post game. He was like, man, you know, they was like, you know, how'd you take the matchup with Wiggins? And he was like, you know, I grew up watching Wiggins hoop. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, how old is Wiggins? 26, 27? Or is he a little older than that?
No, he's 25.
Is he? So honestly, that was kind of almost a slight too. So again, I think RJ definitely had this one was on the calendar. He wanted to play well in this game, and again, he did. I got
25.
I'm gonna blow my beard beard tear tonight, because again, he deserved it. Chuck, I know he shut you up tonight too. No. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he didn't shut you up with you. Oh, you thought he was gonna go ham tonight? Or what did you call his numbers, Chuck?
I didn't call his numbers.
Oh, so but he didn't shut you up.
For one, he's bigger than Oubre.
That ain't got nothing to do. It does. Because Wiggins was cooking. At first, Wiggins was cooking him, but RJ met the match and he cooked both of them because Oubre didn't have nothing. Knox had some really good defensive stretches on him when he played Kelly Oubre. and it was nothing. Oubre didn't do nothing tonight, which I
He had
really
that one
thought he
drive
would.
for a dunk, and that was about
Yeah,
it.
that was it. You know what I'm saying? We shut him down tonight. But
2 for
again,
11.
so you telling me, Chuck, because he was bigger than them and basically he bullied them tonight, that he gets less credit for damn near putting up 30 points? Or he did put up 30,
I'm
didn't
not saying less credit, but what I say is when he go against guys that he's bigger than or physically stronger than, that's when he eats.
he? Okay.
But when somebody is bigger than him, like Ben Simmons, he struggles against those guys.
Now he didn't struggle against them on Friday. He ain't struggle against Cleveland on Friday.
Who did Cleveland have?
Who they have? Who won their team?
Isaac Okoro is
Yeah.
6'25".
He's 6'4".
Right. He didn't play in that game, I don't think.
Look how big and strong he is.
But he's little. He's 6'4".
Oh, you said bigger and stronger. So look, Wiggins is taller, but he ain't stronger.
Who y'all saying is 6'4"?
Okoro.
I thought he was like
Okoro-
6'7",
Okoro is
6'8".
Nah, he's 6'6", 225.
Yeah, he's
let me
6'6", Kokoro. But I agree with Chuck. He's so lean. I think he lost weight for quickness. He looks small, Okoro. I thought he was going to be a lot bigger than he was because we were looking at him as a draft.
He looks solid to me.
Yeah. But I mean, even still, I still can't discredit RJ's play tonight. He definitely deserved a game ball. Like you said, Steven, he had a different hunger in him tonight. And again, the shots was falling. You know what I'm saying? If RJ shots fall, he looks like a total different player. You know what I'm saying? But then when they don't,
and the threes look smooth. They look smooth. It wasn't.
And they were rhythm. They were rhythm shots.
I'm glad to see that he got his scoring tie at small forward. I'm glad to see that.
So let me ask y'all this: is that 5 straight 20-point games for RJ Barrett?
And
I think so.
I'll look it up for you.
He was efficient in all of them. He might be. I don't know. We won these.
I think he had like 20, 24, 27, 23, 28, and then
like player of the week numbers. If we win another game or two, that's player of the week.
Him and RJ, him and Julius both. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, respectively, are putting up all-star caliber type numbers. You know what I'm saying? Through these first 15 games. You know what I'm saying? They're looking good.
Yeah, 19 versus the Celtics.
Okay.
Efficiency.
So he had 26. He had 26 against Atlanta, 19 against Boston, like you said, 20 against Brooklyn, 11 against Charlotte, 16 against Cleveland, 9 against Denver, 25 against Indiana, 17 against Milwaukee, 19 against Oklahoma City, 22 against Orlando, 10 against Philly, 12 against Toronto, and 9 against Utah.
Oh, so no.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty solid.
Yeah, no doubt.
But his last 4 games have been his highest efficiency numbers.
Yeah.
Last 4 games, he's been real efficient.
He could fall out of bed and give you 20. It's the efficiency that you want to look at.
Yeah, he's been efficient the last 4 or 5 games. He's been real efficient. That's why
Rob,
it's been better.
So Rob, he had 20 points in 4 out of the last 5 games. And the game he didn't, he had 19 against Boston. So he had 28 against Golden State. He had 22 against Orlando, 19 against Boston, 20 against Cleveland, and 20 against Brooklyn.
Yeah, and also he had 11 rebounds, 5 rebounds, 9 rebounds, 11 rebounds, 9 rebounds, 13. So, the kid is a blink away from averaging a double-double.
Yep.
And he's been averaging about 50% the last 5 games from the field.
I know, man. He's coming on, and
he's getting efficient.
Much respect.
And a lot of his things was just like those bunnies and just the inefficiency from the 3. That was really what was killing him and making really just his whole performance really look bad. Because like you said, RJ really truly can fall out of bed and get you 20 points. And again, that's a good thing to his credit, because again, once he does develop somewhat of a sharp shooter mid-range game, he doesn't even have to truly develop a dangerous 3-point game. If he can truly develop a mid-range game, RJ will be truly indestructible, I think, at that point in time.
Oh yeah.
I think the 2 days off did him good too. He looked a little refreshed to me. All
I
those
think this
minutes.
West Coast straight. I think this West Coast swing, to some New York cats, that's a good thing for us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying. It's cold, and you know what I'm saying. Getting out there, you know what I'm saying. Them boys probably feeling good. You know what I'm saying. Ripping and running, drinking smoothies and all type of good. You know what I'm saying. That Cali life, they gonna go out there and run the gauntlet on these fools real quick.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
She say that's
But
what it
he
looks
ain't
like.
drinking the smoothies like Rob and I like with the little rum in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I hope not. I hope not. You know what I'm saying? Now that's Tibbs and Kenny Payne.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what they do. You can tell that's where them guts come from. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's where they're drinking that yak. But
Yeah.
yeah, definitely, man. I'm looking forward to this and like I said, the one that I'm really looking forward to is the Portland game. Because again, if we can do, then that was what I was alluding to earlier. And again, I know we're not gonna stop. That Dame time, we already know that. That's. But again, if we can slow him down and
I'm
keep
here to
him
tell
30,
you. I'm here to tell you.
here go Uncle, here go Uncle. Okay,
I'm here to tell you. I don't fear Dame time.
Dame time the coldest, man. To me, Dame time the coldest to me.
They
Bro,
don't
I don't think
got
McCollum is going to play, which is good for
Yeah,
us.
and that's what I was saying, Steve. That's what I was thinking too. Because again, that puts it on the team in Melo. So now Melo, if Melo drops 40 on us, you know what I'm saying,
But
y'all.
the center out too, right? The center.
Yeah, they have no big. They have no bigs.
But
Except
Prince,
for the young guy. I think they got a young rookie that they drafted, didn't they?
yeah, hey,
But
Prince.
he's small, like 6'9", 6'10", but they have no bigs.
Besides Fox talking stuff, Dame's talking stuff too, and
Oh,
on social.
Dave said a little. Yeah, what did he say lately? Because I didn't. Yeah, what didn't
No,
he?
he
What's
just
up
said
lately?
anti-Knicks stuff the other day on social media. So it's like the haters are coming out. So I'm like, come on,
Okay, that's
Peyton
cool.
and the team. Let's play some physical basketball. New York Knicks type of basketball. Did you hear me earlier, Prince? I said that in the first quarter, Mitch helped up Wiseman after he fouled him, and I said, "Boy, is he lucky he didn't play with Oak on the Oak would have came up and smacked his hand like we don't do that,
Hey, bro, what
son.
you doing? Hold on,
we
like,
don't we don't help the
no.
opposition up."
right.
But
So
Mitch, I think that was like kind of like I just want to do this so I don't get the flagrant because I did kind of send big fella flying across the what I'm saying, the arena. But you know what I'm saying. But I peeped that too, and I was like, Mitch, man, leave him on the ground. But old school Mitch, another year or two, definitely. I'm not picking you up.
Hey, so hey, Chuck B, are you ready to give Mitchell Robinson a big contract extension?
No, for what? For what? For this one game that they played a little team?
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
When you say extension, what are we? You know what I'm saying? What are we talking about as far
The
as
bag.
Now,
No.
what's the bag though? Like the 20? Is we talking the bag, or we
I don't know.
talking?
4 years, $60 million sounds good to me.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's not the bag. If you what's that? 12 mil a year?
15.
Mitch
15.
deserves 12 mil a year. Oh, that's
That's
15.
15.
Yeah.
Ooh,
So I'm like maybe a home discount for us.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna need. Yeah, Mitch, you're gonna have to do that for like 48.50. Like
What?
Yeah.
Who are the dog? Who are the Knicks? Who are the Knicks to try to
Bro, we
hold back?
picked you were in New Orleans doing N1 mixtape moves in church gymnasiums. You should be happy that we came down there and brought you to New York. So please, brother, you know what I'm saying? You definitely deserve it. But I'm just saying right now, for the sake of the city, you can get the bag after this one. You know what I'm saying? And I think Mitch, like humble enough kid, I don't think he's looking for the bag. I think he just wants something to be comfortable where he can take care of
Yeah, and on
baby
top of
girl.
that, what other teams are going to have the cap space to give him any more than that?
Yeah,
Man, y'all
exactly.
bugging.
Nobody gonna want to give him any more.
But y'all better pay that man.
I mean,
Y'all better pay that man.
I think
Who
we
y'all?
will,
I
but we're
mean,
not going to make him the highest payer in the team.
I wouldn't do it. And
I-
you know how this regime they doing stuff now. They smart about money. So again, we know like if Frank come back, Frank gonna get like 7 mil a year. If Mitch come back, Mitch gonna get like 10, 12, 13 mil a year. They're not gonna give him They're not gonna throw the bag at Mitch. You like I said, until that's the one thing I said. Like I said, when we watch tonight, even though that young boy got outplayed by Mitch, but again, you look at the skill set, Uncle Freezy, and I hear what you're saying about the Neo and Matrix. But again, when you look pound for pound tonight, Weissman looks way like when his game gets together, that dude's crazy, man.
Hey, that's just on the offensive side of the ball, because on the defensive side of the ball, he can't touch Mitch.
Oh no! Because again, Mitch has got what three? What's this? Mitch third year, and now
that's an education,
so
man.
again, like you got.
He's basically a high school kid.
You know what I'm saying? Where again, you see Weissman is head over heels past Mitch offensively, like you saying, just as well. So again, the same gap offensively Weissman has on Mitch, and the thing is, Weissman just doesn't have the hours. You know what I'm saying, and just the log hours in the game to really match up with Mitch defensively. But Weissman is a rim protector just as well as Mitch is too. And just
he doesn't look quick. He doesn't look quick out there to me. He looks like he's methodical. He knows what he's doing.
You're spoiled by Mitch. Mitch is special, man.
He doesn't have that quickness.
Dude can, like Uncle Freezy called, I think it was like a couple weeks ago. I think he blocked the shot. What'd you say, Uncle Freeze? He said he blocked the shot, took it off the glass, turned, put it on the ground, looked Steph Curry off, took it all the way to the basket and finished.
Yeah, and Curry had a look on his face like, did I just see Godzilla? What the hell was that?
Like, trust me, that dude is he far from slow. The dude can move when he wants to. He just, like you said, he might not move fast, but again, he's a bigger dude. But dude, he way more fluid than Embiid. He, like I said, he's probably a step too slower. Like you said, he probably would be a step or two slower than Mitch. But again, he's only 19.
Yeah.
This is his
hey,
first year.
Parrish Duggar, one of our brothers, he agrees with you. 4-year, $48 million for Mitch. Brian Batista is a little more in my thing, saying he thinks $15 million a year is fair for Mitch. So we'll see.
And I'm with it. It's just the thing is like we said, it's like, yeah, okay, that's $3 million, and you don't want to disrespect Mitch and all of that. But still, when you're talking about the bigger scheme of things, and we really trying to build a team, you know what I'm saying? Like that $3 million may be a player. It might be somebody, that we could really use, or we could, use that money in a different capacity.
No, you got to pay him. Just pay him.
Not only you got to pay him, but when the third highest player in the team is Noah. At $6 million something, come on.
And how many more years we got to pay him?
I know, exactly. So it's like, come on, pay Mitch the little extra, and let's lock in our 5 for a while.
We got $18 million just hanging around.
I hear you.
Well, 18 at a minimum. That's just to hit the minimum. If we wanted to get in, we basically have like $30 million if we wanted to get up to the luxury tax part. But Mitch's salary next year is $1.8 million. Obviously, it's the team option that we'll take, but $1.8 million, which is really $1.2 million because he has 6 agents he has to pay out of that. And I'm serious, so it's frightening.
Right,
the one thing I want to see, as far as Mitch is concerned, I would pay him. I think I would pay him. He deserves to be paid at the very least $15 million a year. But as a GM or team president, I would also want to stress that we expect you to continue to develop both physically, getting bigger, and broaden your offensive game to not to get you out of your comfort zone. We're not trying to push you to the 3-point line, but at least outside the restricted area. I want to see him grow. I don't want him to get the bag and then all of a sudden says, "Well, I'm going to just continue to do what I've been doing."
And that's
I want to see his skill set expand.
What is Capella getting paid? Sorry to cut you off. What is Capella getting?
5-year, $90 million.
5-year, 90.
So that's 16 a year.
Well, Whiteside gets $2 million.
No, it's wrong.
Whiteside
already made $100 million.
I'm talking about. Well, that's when those type of players was more important.
Right.
They phased out now. Nobody paying a non-scoring big.
Yeah, I don't think Mitch. I don't think the market's there for Freezy. I'm sorry, Freeze. I don't think the market.
I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true.
Unless Mitch starts shooting threes, man, and start playing like AD, I don't think so.
Like I said previously.
I think 12 million That's
Hey,
enough money for a
it's
kid who
like-
just
it's
was
like
making
this.
1 million. This dude was making 1 million. So I'm gonna give you 11 more million to continue to grow for the next 4 years. That's more than enough money, dude.
You know what?
I'm
Also,
not giving
what
him no
nobody,
50 million, man. I'm not giving him no 50.
you know what
I'm
else
not doing
nobody talks about, Mitch. He doesn't do many turnovers. The kid,
Right.
he plays
Right.
very smart. Last year he only had 5 bad passes and 11 lost balls for the whole year. The year
When you
before,
only doing handoffs,
He
Steve.
don't get the ball.
but still, there's other guys.
I'm over here with Chuck because,
Yeah,
like I
that's
said, I ain't never seen him do much more than a handoff or maybe chest.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's
there was
like
a
a running
handoff
back
with Peyton,
fumbling.
Peyton and Randall today with a lazy pass from Peyton that was a turnover.
Yeah, no, you're right. It can't
So, but he has zero so far this year. He has 0 bad pass turnovers and 5 lost balls. But from his rookie year on, he had only 11 bad passes and 11 lost ball turnovers. Last year 5 and 11, and this year so far 0. So he's good that way. He's not a walking turnover machine like some guys can be.
Right. And so I think what we're doing, man, is playing cheapskate at the wrong time. I say pay Mitch.
Ain't no
Right.
better
And so because listen, is the alternative is Nerlens Noel and Taj Gibson. Is that what y'all want at center?
Rest your case, counselor.
No,
You won.
not necessarily, Uncle Freezy, because again, I still believe I believe they're looking for a big man now, and actually they picked up a big man, Justin Patton, for the Westchester Knicks,
Yeah.
who was like a lottery pick, and trust me, they're going to develop him. He was drafted by Chicago, but then traded to Tom Thibodeau when he was running Minnesota and broke his foot. But he's like an Anthony Davis, type of big man, shoot the ball, block shots. So again, trust me, they want a guy who can do those type of things. So again, I don't believe, Uncle Freezy, that they just gonna throw the bag at Mitch. Now they want to keep Mitch, and they're gonna want to pay him.
They ain't gonna throw it. They gonna walk it over there and put it.
You said they gonna walk it over. What you said they gonna
Yeah.
kindly? What you said they gonna kindly lay it in his
They gonna
lap?
kindly,
They say,
yeah, they
would you
gonna,
please take this money?
yeah.
They're gonna say, would you please? Take
Yeah,
this money?
$11 million.
Cause dog,
$11
Nah,
million.
it's gonna be more than that.
you
It's
still
gonna be more than that.
It's gonna be $550 or
Hey,
four
look, you know why?
or
Hey,
430
Clint,
or
hey, look,
442
you know why
or
you don't see Mitch's jump shot? You know why you don't see his jump
It's
shot?
not his
So here
contract
comes
year.
the conspiracy
No,
theory,
this is
ladies
why
and
you
gentlemen.
don't see it.
because you ain't paid me for it. What you
Nope.
said? They ain't paid
Yeah.
me for it.
And
Hey,
he ain't got it.
You're gonna see it in his
I
contract
don't
year.
want
You
you to
watch.
see it because then that's the market gonna go up. As long as they winning, you ain't gonna see the jump shot.
Oh man, I love that
No, man, they gon'
conspiracy theory.
Rob, I'm done with you. Rob said,
nah,
"B, no, you ain't gonna see it."
They gonna give them. They gonna give them what? I think Foxy said what? 4 and 60. Is that 15 mil? I think.
I think they'll give him
4 and
15 more.
yeah, or
550 or 442. That's or
No,
4
they
for 40 like
ain't.
5. That's all I got for you,
They
Freezy.
ain't ready.
Again, well, you gotta think about this. How much money? What are we gonna have to pay Julius?
I'm not sure, but because they're
it's going to
unrelated.
start with a 2, that's for sure.
Thank
yeah,
you.
but
Thank
they're-
you. Thank you, Stevie. So again, if it starts with a 2, that's 22, 23, 24, or like you were saying, Uncle Freezy, 28 or 30. See, you want to throw the bag at everybody. So
Yeah.
now you lock up. Now you pay Julius what? That's 30 a year.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this before you finish your math.
Okay.
All right, so you gonna cheapskate and hometown discount, your guys, right?
No, you're just not overpaying them.
Yeah,
Thank you,
Fox,
Jeff. Thank you.
You ready to dip? I'm good. I'm gonna hang out with the fellas. You heard me, Foxy?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I do now. So cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna hang out with the guys probably about 30 minutes, and then I'm gonna dip.
All right, so fellas, great to see you. Great Knicks win tonight. We'll see you tomorrow night. Another, God willing, Knicks win. Shout out to the chat. And chat, just do me a favor. Please hit those likes, subscribe, and remind the bells so you don't miss out on any Knicks at Night and Knicks Morning Drive broadcast. And please share the link on your favorite social media platforms so we can grow the Blarence Tears family. We're at 1,270 subscribers. God bless you. 1,500 here we come, and we greatly appreciate it. And shout out to the best mods in the land, Bodega Wi-Fi, Sima Singh, and the new Knicks. We appreciate all you do.
Yep.
Fellas, I'll I'll see you tomorrow. God bless you. Love you guys.
Hey.
All right, man. Peace,
All right,
man.
Steve. Take
Hey,
care.
so
What
so
did Green do to get tossed?
I'm not. Hey, let me finish this point real quick, and then I'll let you jump. So the thing is, what the Prince is saying is that we should do like be real particular with the money. But then what that does is it leaves us in a spot where we have money left over. Like, what do we do with that? What do we do with the money left over? Do you instead of paying your guys, you go out and sign other guys like Alfred Payton? You bring Alfred Payton back with that money
No,
that you saved?
no,
No,
no.
that's what the Knicks are gonna do. They're
I
gonna bring
pray
Alfred
we
Payton
don't.
back.
I pray we
Nah,
don't.
no, because they value Alfred Payton. That's the reason why they cut him and brought him back. And they probably gonna bring him back next year again for another 1 year deal.
If that's the case, I'm cool with that only if we can't get Lowry. Because like you said, Lowry might be available too. Because that extra little 3 or 4 million, you can throw that in. Because again, it's not going to be cheap to bring Lowry in. He's probably going to want about 10, for a 1 year deal. 8 to 10 for 10, 12 for a 1 year deal for a Lowry. You know what I'm saying? So again, we may need them 3 mil, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying.
Nah, man, Lowry gonna want 2 years, 60 million.
Oh my God! Yeah, well, I guess we won't. Well, we won't be having Lowry then. He won't be a Knick then. No.
Yeah, because these dudes that are vets and made all these all-star teams, they not coming into your building for no 10 million. You know what I'm saying? My man that made all-star teams.
I think Lowry finished with them $30 million deals. Lowry finished with those $30 million deals.
I don't know, boss.
He might be a 15er.
Nah. You saying that he an Alec Burks type player?
I'm saying his age, what he is, 35?
Yeah, probably somewhere in there.
Yeah, he about 15.
I don't want to see the Knicks overpay for veterans like we were doing in the past.
Yeah.
I would like to see the Knicks attract players in their prime years and look at paying them. But because even if Lowry, I don't even think Lowry will be attracted to come into the Knicks unless the Knicks can sustain. Because Larry might be looking for one more ring before he hangs it up. You know what I mean? And I don't know if he would, unless he's just looking for the money. I don't know if he's going to be attracted to come to the Knicks regardless. Unless the Knicks can show him.
Lowry is
not at 36 years old. I'm not trying to pay $30 million to a 36-year-old point guard.
It's not many players out there right now that's not already signed up in long-term deals that I would break our growth movement for. Our youth movement for. It's not many players out there right now that I would pay to break the youth movement. I want to see these players develop into 3 to 4 years and then maybe add an all-star. The all-star one out there right now for the Knicks is not even available yet because I couldn't honestly say I knew who it was because I want to see development on what we have. It's nobody that I would feel comfortable paying any amount of money to right now to put on the Knicks to say, okay,
but Rob, you gotta spend 90%. You gotta spend 90% of your cap. You gotta spend 90% of your cap. You can't just say that
I can do that without going crazy.
Well, yeah, because we gotta spend like 115, 116 every year. Yeah. So like we were saying, if you because I know you want to throw the bag, you said 30 to Julius. You said Mitch get 15 for 4, so that'll put him at 60 million, which really ain't a bad contract for you. So don't get me wrong. I can't sit here and act like that's crazy amount of money. But for a guy who just blocking shots and catching oops, though, I'm gonna give it to him. I'm gonna give it to him just for sakes. So that's 45 right there. So we still got 85 million to spend. And you said 6 of that go to Jakeem Noah.
No, 70 million. They give you 70 million to spend.
Okay, my bad. My horrible math. My bad. So that gives us 70 million to spend. So with Joakim 6, that puts us at 64. You got Knox is what, 6 million, 7 million that we pay him?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's another 6, and then you got RJ 7 million.
Yeah.
Okay. Who else we got?
Everybody else is on.
Well, all of them guys gonna be done. They'll be out of here.
Except Austin Rivers. Year. You got Austin Rivers 3 million,
and that's 3 million.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Uncle Freezy, we still got that's 45.
So now that's what I'm saying. We pinching those
55.
pennies.
But Freezy, Do you think we can still have some money left over so we can bring on a bad contract and maybe bring in some picks?
We would have about 50 million. We would have close to like 40-some million left. We would have about 45 million still left with that's just with, and that's only with six, 7 guys on the roster.
That's when you take that
6,
money.
7 guys on the roster.
That's when you take that money and you give Mitch his deal.
Because that's with Mitch's 15. That's even if you pay.
That's with you.
That's Uncle Freeze, like Uncle Freezy saying. Even if you give Mitch his 15, you give Julius his 30, because we gotta extend Julius too, because that's up. So you gotta give Julius his 30.
DSJ back in the game, Chuck gonna hate everything we do with the Knicks.
No, I just think it's funny.
Back in the game.
I just think
he can lighten up. So he can lighten up.
No, I just think it's
until DSJ, we do something for DSJ.
All right, now I'm gonna go. I just think it's funny that we wait till Mitch to have one 18-point game to talk about throwing him the bag.
We done mentioned this before. We done talked about making money before.
I haven't been part of that.
Okay.
I think Freezy just trying to start a fight, really. I think that's really what it is.
They bring Mitch money up all the time. We done had this conversations on numerous occasions.
The dude averaged 9 points on dunks.
I don't care. He's your defensive orchestrator.
I'm not throwing that the bag.
What?
That's easily replaceable.
Well, why a lot of teams don't have it?
Because they phase those guys out.
How you think they got rid of Clint Capella? Clint Capella, they got rid of him.
Tell me 5 scoring centers. 5 in the league right now.
Right, there are more than 5 scoring centers.
Yeah, I was about to say right. I can name 5 in the West. We can name 5 in the West.
5 in the West.
Joker. Who else we got? Marcus Gasol.
No. Marcus Gasol, no.
He a scorer. Marcus Gasol.
He's 74 years old. He averaging 4 points a game now. No.
Okay. Let me see who else in the West. Weissman. We just seen a scoring big tonight.
And he gave you 12. Okay, next.
Valanciunas. Yeah.
We seen Mitch get ate up by Andre Drummond.
Valanciunas is not a scoring big man. What he giving you 13, 12 a game? No. I'm sorry. Not Valanciunas.
Christian Wood. Yeah.
Christian Wood is not a center.
He playing center.
Come on, fellas. Let's get right.
So why you keep forgetting
DeAndre Ayton?
DeAndre Ayton. Carl
Anthony Towns. No disrespect.
Nikola. How you pronounce it? Orlando Magic.
Nokovic. Yeah, Nikola Nokovic.
Nah. He's 12 a game. He's not a scoring center. No.
Man, the way he was shooting them threes on us in that game.
12 a game. He's a stretch, but he's only 12 a game.
Anthony Towns.
Are you talking about prolific score? You talking about prolific score, big man? Is that what you mean, Rob? Like a prolific score, big man? Somebody who scored like over 20.
Not a stretch 4.
Hey, so what's your point, Rob? Are you saying?
No, this is my point. Most teams don't have scoring centers. They all have defensive centers. So Mitch's money's worth. You only gave me 4, and y'all up to odd now.
Yeah, because your definition of scoring is 20
my
points.
definition of a center. I didn't say a stretch 4.
I didn't say stretch anything.
Yeah, I thought we named some centers though. We had named.
Yeah, but they only averaging 12 points. So what? And they get in the bag? The Joker, I give you, of course. It's not them. They're not running the league rampantly like that.
Bam
Adebayo, what he getting? Okay.
Yeah, what was his contract?
Bam just got, Bam, yeah. Bam just
right?
got his contract. That's 5.
Yeah.
What did he get? 5 what?
Hey, no, I'm saying he's number 5, but out of 30 teams, we got 5 scoring centers and nobody want to give Mitch no money.
Oh man.
Well, I want to know what did Bam get, because again, they were reluctant to pay Bam.
Man, you didn't include Joel Embiid. You
Yeah,
didn't think?
Embiid. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Like,
It's,
we
you
got a
didn't
whole
think
bunch.
Miles Turner? Man, it's a bunch of dudes that score, man.
No, you ain't gonna get me when it's a bunch of dudes with no names.
I just gave you names.
All right, we got 6.
He said we got 6. It's only 30 teams, Rob. It's only 30
Exactly.
teams.
I'm telling you, they're not that many.
No, I get what you're saying.
And these ones are getting 100 million. You don't want to even give Mitch 40. They getting 100.
Right.
Mitch at least get 60.
Well, no, I want to give him 40. That's but
No,
Uncle Freeze
he
want to
should
give him
get
60.
60.
Uncle
He's-
Freeze want to give
Yeah,
him
give-
60. I'm like,
give
give
him
him
60.
45.
I give
I'm
him
trying to
60.
I'm trying
He's
to
not
lock
going
him
to
up.
get 100, but I'll give him 60.
Hey, because he's gonna get the bag at the, you know what I'm saying? He gonna get the 100 mil at the end of this contract.
Well, but right now he can get 60.
I don't agree. I don't disagree with Rob.
No, hold on, Uncle Freezy. Now you tell me this, because again, you know that the very next year we're gonna have to extend. So again, how do we pay for RJ extension and Mitch's extension?
Because if you give Mitch 15 and then you extend RJ, give RJ his max rookie extension, that still leaves you with $30 million. What are you gonna do with that $30 million? You gonna re-sign Alfred Payton?
Yeah, I guess you got to re-sign Knox, re-sign Elfrid Payton, and then pay some, some cats off the waiver, I guess.
Right. And then
we had those draft picks too. We got those draft kids coming in too, so we'll have to pay those kids. But we won't be in the lottery after this year. This will be the last year we have to pay lottery money.
Yeah.
Every draft pick going forward is going to be like a 14, 15, or 20. Hopefully, 30 if 1 year.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Yo, Freezy, check this out. Rudy Gobert, he's not a scoring center, right?
Right.
So when he was first with the Utah Jazz, he was getting paid roughly about $1 million a year. Then in 2016-17, he was getting paid about 2.1 million, and then in 2017-2018, he jumped to an annual salary of about 21 million.
Right.
23 and then 25.
Right.
This is before that.
Him work. Right, but you see how they made him work?
They made him work for it for about 4 years.
Made him work. And then he got the bag. We gave you 100 million.
No, they didn't make him work for it. And they didn't make him work. No, man, listen. The dude started making all defensive teams and was defensive player of the year. And
right, so, he got the accolades.
Yeah, so
Mitch don't get that.
Yeah. No, not yet.
No, but
Mitch ain't won defensive player of the year yet.
But no, listen. Okay, all right, okay, y'all.
I don't know if he won't though, Chuck. I think Mitch has the smarts and the defensive prowess. I think he could be. He could be a shot.
Rudy Gobert.
That's what I'm saying. He was getting paid about 20 million, so paying Mitch 15, I don't think is a stretch.
He getting that now. That's Rudy Gobert.
No.
That was Rudy Gobert back then.
This is back then. I'm going back then.
That though.
So what year was that he got the 20 million? What year was that? That was his
2017-2018 season. That was his first year making over. That was his first year. He's making 21 million.
How many years in the league is what I mean?
He came into the league 2013.
So that's his 4th season. So he was in the year 4 years. He was in the league 4 years, and then they gave him $100 million contract.
No, that's not right. What it is based on what teams you make. If you make all defense, if you win NBA awards based on the collective bargaining agreement, if you get the rookie max extension, you go onto a scale. The Utah Jazz didn't just say, I'm just going to give you $23 million. Based on the accolades he earned as an NBA player is where his salary increased on that rookie max extension scale. They gave him the rookie max extension, and then they gave him the max extension this year. So it's not like the Utah Jazz arbitrarily said, we're just going to wait 2 years and pay you $23 million. You know what I'm saying? The dude earned certain stuff, and based on the CBA, his salary went in that scale. That's the reason why you see certain cats go from certain level salary to another, Because if you just leave it to the agent and the player to negotiate based on certain accolades, everybody would be getting paid differently. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why Harden and LeBron and all them guys can make a certain amount of money. But when you look at it, it's all in the same range. It's that, like LeBron deserves $100 million a year, but he ain't gonna make that because there's a CBA in place to prevent stuff like that from happening. So with Mitch, if Mitch currently the way he's going now, him and the Knicks can negotiate something. But if he makes an all defensive team or becomes a defensive player of the year, all of that stuff is out of the Knicks' hands.
Then now, but I'm saying what I'm talking about, because like current Mitch right now, what we see in these first, 15, 13, 14 games we done had, like you just saying tonight, like Chuck said, after tonight he got 18 points. Do we got to throw Mitch the 60 mil bag? Do we throw him the 50 mil bag, or do we throw him the 45 mil bag?
But the question is, so what do you do? So you go to Mitch and be like, no, you ain't good enough to get 15 mil, but I'm gonna bring back Elfrid Payton.
Why you relating
up Elf, man?
But Elfrid Payton's not a center.
I know, but Elfrid Payton is a pending free agent.
Would you say his rebuttal, regardless of anything less than 15 mil a year, he gonna say, "Well, what you gonna do with the rest of the money? You gonna give it to Elfrid Payton?"
But Elfrid Payton is a pending free agent.
I'll go and get Whiteside for cheaper. How about that?
Nah, he's old.
Hey, he's crazy. He gonna look Rose right in the face. Say, what you gonna do? Go get the $4 million of Elfrid Payton?
But those guys are replaceable, man. You got JaVale McGee's on everybody bench.
And
you don't need to throw the bag.
Hey man, so you say JaVale McGee's name because he got rings, like he earned those rings.
No, I'm saying because he's the same type of player Mitch is.
No, he's not.
What's the difference?
That man stayed on Shaq and the Fool. His mama had to come get him. He's still
the same type of player.
He do some crazy shit, but he do some craziness. But
he don't never
like what Chuck is saying is just his game. Period.
I'm just talking about his game.
What do McGee give you outside of some blocks and some rolls to the rim?
That's it.
Like that's like
anywhere.
Like I love Mitch to death too. I love when he blocks shots. I love when
he hit a 3 in his life. He hit a 3 in his life.
Well, he took one. Mitch didn't take one.
Oh, why not?
Hey, look, that's not important.
It's not. But let's start baby steps. At least take a 10-footer.
Y'all trying to make
10-footer. All right, we're moving in.
His job is to anchor the defense. That's what he does. That's what we're going to pay him for. That's what we're going to pay him for.
Wow. Well, good luck with that.
Then Wallace anchored the defense in Detroit. That's what he got paid for.
After the fact,
now you want to overrate his defense.
After the fact, he won them a championship. Then he got paid.
Hey, look, they wasn't the ones who paid them. Cleveland got robbed.
He got us at 500, and we're gonna throw him the bag. Now this is where I'm like, okay, now, like I'm not like Julius is one thing. I'm like, okay, Julius, we playing MVP.
Nobody's saying throw him the bag.
Pay him. But Mitch,
look,
I'm not
giving Mitch $50 million a year. Hey, look, nobody is saying throw him the bag. Nobody is saying throw him the bag. I'm just saying give him a decent contract.
Much like we just in a decent contract is 10, 12 million for his skill set.
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
All right. Oh, if you think that's that, offer them that, and I bet you the next team sign them for way more than that.
No, they won't.
Might.
Okay,
they might. Somebody might. Somebody just might. And I'm not even.
It's gonna be a good team. It's not gonna be anybody. It's gonna be a good team.
Hey, they about to let Andre Drummond walk. They're about to let him walk.
And that's the thing about it.
And he's way better than Mitch. They about to let him walk for Allen because Allen is cheaper.
Hey, look, because he doesn't fit their timeline.
No, because
it ain't got to do with timeline at this point. He just, like you said, it's dollars and cents. It's dollars and cents.
Hey, look, When they show me they got somebody better than Mitch, we'll talk about not paying them.
Okay, now I can respect you on that, Rob. I can respect you on that. But I'm just saying, if
we don't know
if Mitch holds a gun to our head in the off season and asks for the bag, I'm like, no, bro. I got 10, 11 million for you, and that's the best we can do right now. Then you can get that 100 million at the end of this next 4 years or whatever. I'm not giving you
I
no
gotta
big
trust you
contract.
for that. Nah, they ain't playing ball like that.
We don't even got a center to compare Mitch to.
Hey, look at here.
Noel's ain't no
I'm
center.
gonna tell you just like this here. Mitch go against 60 plus easy.
Well, Rob, and that's the thing too. They saying they already talking. That's the speculation anyway. That he talking about he want to walk anyway. That he's gonna walk anyways. So it ain't like talk about like it ain't even like it's almost like some Carmelo. You know what I'm saying? What's the name stuff? KP.
If that was the case, Mitch is what we'll be trading for a first round come mid-season. If that
might see that, you might see that too. That ain't off the table, Rob.
This was, but I haven't heard that. But if I haven't heard that,
it might have been some crazy stuff I read on Twitter, but again, that was the speculation that they said that I guess it was some rumbling in his camp that he might not be signing regardless. So again, and if that's the case, like you said, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, he must feel like that he's worth the bag. Like you said, he worth the $100 million contract now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this is how it usually goes. He would go out there. He would get a contract as an unrestricted free agent or restricted free agent, and we can match anything. So go out there, see what you get. We still in control of what we want at the end of the day. Because we can, if it's about the bag, go out there, see what you can get, and we can match it.
And that's what I'm saying. And again, if he go out there and somebody like, yeah, we'll pay you 15, 16 mil. Okay, all right. He done bent us over a barrel, pay the kid. But again, I don't think that that's the case. I believe that, you know what I'm saying? I think, now again, I believe some people would be interested in Mitch, don't get me wrong, but it's just going to be at what expense, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's 10, 12, 13 million. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure somebody would pay him 15, but I just don't think the Knicks is going to just throw it to him off the dribble, you know?
Until he starts making an all-star team, until he starts to get accolades, wouldn't you be paying him based on comparable skill sets of centers around the league? The basic salary on.
Yeah, you, and that's the only way. That's what I'm saying, Rob. Is you saying, yeah, okay, he's outplaying all these guys, but like he just said, until he's on the first all-team defense, till he's, you know what I'm saying, number 3 in defensive player of the year votes. You don't warrant $15 million a year just anchoring the defense, Rob. You don't do that.
You got a point there. Now listen to this. Suppose you wait for him to do that, and then his contract come up, and then the CBA stipulates that now you got to give him Gobert's money when you could have seen the potential, signed the potential. Then after he made it, it wouldn't kill you.
But wouldn't we still have to throw him the bag after this contract anyway? Because that's what I'm saying. Is even after this 60 million in 4 years,
if we gave him 60 million right now, say, all right, now this contract don't kick in. And just say next year he makes the all defensive team. Won't you be like, that would have cost us 140 million?
But we still have to pay him 140 in 2 years, though, Rob. We're gonna still have to pay him.
5-year deal. You signed him to a 5-year deal. You straight. You good.
Okay, I see what you said. Okay, I see what you said boom or bust. But that's the thing. I don't see I love Mitch, but I don't see that much upside in Mitch. I don't see Mitch doing all of that. Like I said,
you don't see Mitch getting on the all defensive team one day.
No.
One day being an all defensive player.
I wouldn't say that. What I'm saying is I don't see Mitch becoming basically offensive threat. That's what I don't see Mitch coming yet.
Joe Barry got $200 million just on defense.
Well, Utah's stupid. They just was trying to get somebody to play with Donovan Mitchell. I don't think that was a good.
Any team that signed him was forced to because he made that team. So let's get Mitch before he makes the team.
He ain't gonna make it. What you mean?
That's
Get him.
crazy.
All right,
crazy.
so get him at
everybody you talk about with the Knicks, Charles ain't gonna do shit. Nobody.
Well, he ain't making no all defensive team. He's not a great defender. He's a great shot blocker.
Not one player got an upside on the whole team with you. Not one player. We supposed to be 0-16 right now, listening to you.
First of all, he's a great shot blocker, not a great defender.
We went someplace else. We supposed to be 0-16, listening to you.
Why you don't let people talk? All right,
because that's the whole conversation right now. I want to get with your fanhood. That's the number one thing the chat want to know. It ain't one player.
Hey, nobody asked that.
Not one player that you ever said, oh, except for DSJ. Except for DSJ. Randall. And everybody know he trash.
Randall. First of all, Dallas signed Willie Cauley-Stein for 2 years, $8 million. He could do the same thing Mitch did.
Mitch is better than that. He can't cover the 3-point shot and get back. Mitch
he can. Yes, he can.
No, he can't. I watched that bum. No, he can't.
Well, Rob, I'm almost willing. I'm with you on that. Yeah, he is. But how much better is he than Willie Cauley-Stein? What is he? 2 times better? 3 times better? Because again, if he's 3 times better, that's still $12 million a year. Like that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. Like, look, so again, like my boy Chuck just said, me and Chuck don't usually agree on nothing. But this one, me and Chuck gonna have to just ride with, because like you just said, Willie Cauley-Stein, $4 million. Whiteside, $5-6 million. Mitch, I'm not paying him. He's not 3-4 times better than him. He's not. He's not.
Look, you worrying about everybody that talks about Mitch looks at basketball from, if you're not scoring, I can't pay you.
No, not really, Chuck. I see it from just a basketball. Like how does he affect our offense outside of tip dunks and catching oops? Like, I mean, like, does he stretch the defense?
How about the offensive rebounds? That don't count for nothing.
I mean, what does Mitch average? How many offensive rebounds does Mitch average? Honestly,
he's doing pretty good on the offensive board.
4 to 5 a game.
Is he? I don't know if it's that much, Rob. I think
so, about 4.
I think 2 or 3, because he ain't even, if he even averaging 10 rebounds a game, Rob. I don't even know. Yeah, he's only averaging 8, so I'm pretty sure he's not getting 5 offensive rebounds. I know that.
Most of his rebounds are coming on the offensive side of the ball.
I think I would say 3 offensive and 5 defensive.
4.4 defense. 4.4 defense.
I was right.
3.9 offense.
I was right.
Okay, John, okay. All right, Rob. Okay, Rob. You did. Give it to him. I give it to him.
5.
That's right. I said 4 to 5.
So just name 7 numbers so you could be right.
No. 4 to 5 is right there in the ballpark. I know you hate that.
Good call, Rob. Good call.
All right, so you rounded it off.
So offensive rebounds. Okay, so we get offensive rebounds.
That's right there. If it leads to that lead back to me and Chuck argument too about Whiteside and them giving you about the same amount of rebounds, and like you said, Andre Drummond. Okay, now you can't tell me, and we seen Andre Drummond cook Mitch. Now again, would you bring in Andre Drummond for $10 million a year, or would you bring in Mitch for $15 million for the next 4 or 5 years? I don't like Andre Drummond. He's too slow for me. You can't run with Andre Drummond.
Bro, Andre Drummond would kill with this squad. Hey, we would be like a 3rd or 4th seed with Andre Drummond.
Oh, no way. No way.
No, I'm being with this team.
Hey, look. So why?
But Rob, we're not running anyways.
Why Detroit?
We are a half-court team, and that is Andre Drummond. He is a 20-20 dude. Him and Julius would eat.
I would pick up Andre Drummond at the airport.
Thank you. He said I would go pick up Andre Drummond at the airport. Bro, if like Chuck said, if they let him walk, I'm telling you, the market probably say Andre Drummond probably gonna get about the same money Mitch. We gonna try to pay Mitch. So again, would you pay Mitch 15 for 40, or would you say, Mitch, I'm gonna give you 10 for 50, and I could pay Andre Drummond for the next 3. I could give Andre Drummond a 2-and-1 for freaking
I don't like
20,
Drummond.
20
Yeah, but
something million.
Prince, keep in mind, Prince, Drummond's going to be looking for the bag too.
Drummond ain't getting the bag. Everybody, that's why ain't nobody trading for Drummond right now.
He already got
You already got the bag. You got 20 something million. Drummond is gonna be out there flailing around like Boogie Cousins, Dwight Howard, like we just said, like Chuck said, the center market itself is trash. So if you're not an Anthony Davis, a Joker, one of them cats who just is out of this world, man, they not giving you the bag.
This is why Drummond is trying to expand his offensive game. He said it in the offseason.
Now.
Whether he's able to do it, I don't know, but he's trying to expand his offensive game to get that bag. Mitch, if he doesn't have that same mindset, Rob, he's not going to get to that level. At some point, 21. He's going to have to expand.
Ask Boogie. Boogie is making.
Boogie got hurt. $3 million. Boogie got hurt. Everybody know Boogie was going to get the bag.
Still, but
Boogie was going to get the bag.
We're talking skill set of what.
Boogie can shoot the 3. What you talking about?
He making $3-4 million in Houston.
But that was because of his injuries, I think. I think that was because of his injuries.
Okay, and how Boogie's playing right now? How much money you think Boogie gonna get next year?
This is what. Wait. First, let's establish what happened to Boogie. Boogie tore his ACL in the contract year.
True.
So he was out for a year without being paid. Then he came back and he ruptured his thigh. So right now, Boogie is on the mend. So Boogie doesn't even count towards that because nobody knows how healthy he is. It has nothing to do with his skill set.
I don't think Boogie's ever going to get the bag because teams are going to be wary about his history, his injury history.
It's the big position. Nobody is paying the bigs. Man.
But look, even when Boogie was the big, he didn't even want to play center. He was a stretch four.
Yeah, he wanted to play stretch four. You're right. Like I said, Rob, I'm not saying I don't want. I'm not saying I don't want to pay Mitch. I'm just saying that I think, like I said, I think there's other options, without giving him. But I hear what Uncle Freezy said, because again, we got 114 million that we have to spend. So again, how we spend it, I mean, I guess if you want to just throw it away, and give Mitch his 15 million a year. But again, I don't know.
I would give Mitch 12 million based on his skill set, but I would give him an additional 3 based on the intangibles. His age, He's showing himself to be coachable. He's showing himself to be a good character guy, a good locker room guy.
Mm-hmm.
So those are valuable aspects because Tibbs wanted him to reduce his fouls, and he has. To some degree, and you can see you can see a definite change in his gameplay on the defensive end when he first came into the league. When he came into the league, he was trying to block everything. He was trying to block everybody. His man shot the next time he was trying to block everything, and then they coached him, and they got into his head that to stay on his feet, play defense with your feet, not your hands. Don't reach in. So he's coachable. But my only thing with Mitch is I would like to see him expand offensively. But I would give him 15 million. However, if a Drummond became available, I would then have to look at that option as well. Because defensively, Drummond's got the size, he's got the rebounding ability. And he's still only 26, 27 years old.
How do you know who's a good locker room guy? That caught me off guard there.
Yeah. You when I
show,
mean,
he would interview his
it,
teammates.
it,
Everybody
I mean,
came
it
to the
kind of doesn't
interview.
it. I mean, if you, Chuck, if you wasn't a good locker room guy,
You be with
and
Trier at. You'll be with
listen,
Trier at.
So
if you
everybody
was
on the team's a good locker room guy.
no, I'm not saying that. Listen,
All right.
let's say you was on my team and I was your coach and I was your GM, and you're about to hit a contract negotiation with me, and you was happen to be a bad locker room guy. I'm gonna make sure that stuff hits the news. I'm going to make sure that if you're a bad locker room guy, you're a bad character guy, and you get into a contract year, you don't think teams leak that to the media for its leverage in negotiations?
No, I don't.
They did
Oh,
it
of
to
course
Harden.
they
They did it
do.
to Harden.
No,
Everything came out on Harden when they was about
Well,
to
sure
trade him
they
about
that have
do.
nothing
who
to
he
do with his
wanted.
contract. What came
They
out
said,
on
no,
Harden
no,
had
listen. They said it was Harden's fault that he got Chris Paul traded, that he got Dwight
it had
Howard
nothing to do
traded.
with his contract.
Nobody knew that. But no,
Nothing to do
nobody
with his
knew that.
contract.
Nobody knew that until they wanted to trade him.
And also
Nothing to do with his
interviews,
contract.
if the coaches say that he's a good locker room guy, then you got to take what the coaches say at their word. Tibbs has said in several interviews that Mitch is a good guy, that he likes Mitch as a player and as an athlete and as a person. He said it.
Yeah. Those 6 agents too. They second that.
Well, listen, I don't live in it. I don't live in Mitch's house, so I don't know what's up with that.
That's his money. That's one thing. At the end of the day, that money that I pay the agent works for me. I can fire his ass if I want to.
I'm just saying we don't have no idea who are good locker room guys. That was
You
my
don't.
mistake
You
with that.
can't name a good locker room guy off the top of your head.
No, because I'm not in the locker room. So
But
I
as a
have no
basketball
opinion.
fan,
No,
who
I
looks,
can't. I can only judge by what I see. I don't know what the hell was going on in the locker room.
well,
I can't judge that. I don't hang with these dudes. I don't know their attitudes.
They say,
but then you can't say if they are. You can't say if they're not.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
That's why the
That's
Cavs
why
got
I don't have an
Allen,
opinion on it.
and he even plays.
If you look at, for instance, I'll give you an example. He hasn't shown anything to us that he's not, right? So until the day comes when he starts throwing food around in the locker room for whatever reason, until he starts missing our practices the same way he was missing the U.S. team's practices, until he starts to show that he's not a good locker room guy, you have to give him the benefit of the doubt that he is.
Why?
Because he hasn't shown you otherwise.
He haven't shown you anything about the locker room.
The fact that you're not hearing that he isn't shows me that you're going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
No, I'm
that
not.
That he's not missing practices. If he was missing practices, the media would get news of it. If he was a malcontent, the media would get news of it because it gives teams leverage.
Didn't they mention
down the road
up late or something like that to something? Didn't they mention that a few times with him?
Not
Didn't they have problems with? Yes, they did.
He had issues with the U.S. team. I think they kicked him off the U.S. team actually. When Van Gundy was mentioning about his character when he was on the U.S. team. I don't know the specifics of it, but Van Gundy has something to say about that.
I know there was news floating around about him earlier this
Early
year.
in the preseason, yes, there was some news, but I don't know the specifics of what it was. I don't know if it was a family issue. I really can't speak on it. But what I'm saying is until I get word that a player has been acting out, and he's still on the team, I'm giving him the benefit of doubt that he's a good locker room guy. And as far as his contract is concerned, I wouldn't go above 15 million based just on his skill set of what he's been showing us up to this point.
I wouldn't go above 12, and I wouldn't give nobody the benefit of any doubt about whether they're good or bad, because I have no idea.
Mhm.
Just because dudes wave towels on the bench don't make them a good locker room guy. And that's not Mitch. I'm talking about Pinson. You know what I'm saying? I only judge on what I see. You know what I'm saying? And half of what you hear, you can't believe half of that either.
Right.
So
No, I agree with you on that.
yeah. So I have no opinion on anybody's attitude, on any player's attitude.
But would you agree that his defense, it's especially man-to-man coverage in regards to his fouls, has gotten better, and that might be due to part of coaching and his own willingness to want to get better on that part of his game.
Yeah. See, somebody said he missed voluntary early workouts in the off season.
But well, wait, now that you mentioned that, didn't that match up with? Didn't he just have a kid? That might have been. I read that. He might have been a father. Look into that, because he might have been a brand new father this past summer. So that might have been something to do with it. I'm not sure, but that one might have to do with the other.
Yeah,
It might coincide with the fact that he just became a brand new father around that time.
Yes.
And since it was only voluntary, he didn't really get any. And I think the team kind of understood.
Yeah, I don't get into none of that anyway. Just what you do on the floor. But my thing with his defense is he's a great help defender.
Right.
He's not a great man-on-man defender. His like the same thing with Obi. His base, he could be bullied in the post, right? And we've seen that. So,
yeah, like by centers like a Drummond, who's heavier.
Yes.
And stronger.
Yes. So that's what's stopping him from being an all-around great defender. But most of his shot blocks are coming off of weak side help, not versus his man. So I think we overrate his overall defense. I can't take nothing away from his shot blocking. He's like third in the league in shot blocks. So he's always gonna be up there in shot block.
He definitely disrupts the movement in the paint with people penetrating the paint. He does alter people's shots. I mean, that's part of being
yeah. But
I'm trying to see what Andre Drummond wasn't always the size he is now when he was 20. I'm trying to see what size Andre Drummond was at 22 years old, because right now he's about I just saw that how big he is now.
He's a beast.
No, but I'm saying that at 22 years old, you have
Mitch ain't gonna grow into Andre Drummond.
You see his shoulder width. He has room to grow. He does. I mean, but this is what I'm saying, Chuck. A player's ability to get better and bigger and stronger also has a large part to do with your willingness to put in the work. You know what I mean? And as long as you're putting in the work, then I don't have a problem with paying you. I just don't want to pay you and then for you to get comfortable and feel like you don't need to get any better than you already are. You know?
Well,
by expanding his game, hitting the weight room, getting bigger, getting stronger, strengthening his base, so Drummonds of the NBA don't push him around, push him out of the paint, push him out of the restricted area. You know, manhandle him. I want him to get bigger. But again,
yeah,
it's an individual thing.
I don't see his base getting much stronger. It's hard to add weight and weight combined with muscle to your lower half, and maintain your athleticism. He could get bigger up top, but
well, his athleticism he only needs so much athleticism based on what he's doing in the game. You know, he's not handling the ball. He's not bringing the ball down court. You know, across the you know, he's not facilitating the offense.
yeah,
So
but his defense is predicated on his athleticism.
his hops is predicated on his hops. Is predicated on his lateral movement. Him getting bigger in the lower bodies. Do you think that's going to alter his lateral movement and be a help defender?
Well, if you put on more muscle, you become tighter, right? So it'll probably take away some of his quickness. You know what I'm saying? So and that's what he rely on. So
It depends on what kind of quickness you're talking about, because you have that twitch reflex type of quickness, and I don't think you lose that because you bulk up in your lower body. You know, he's got broad shoulders. I think he can grow into that. But moving on from that, let's say for instance, at some point they're going to have to cross that bridge. At some point they're going to have to face that dilemma of what they're going to pay him. Until they get an alternative option, they're going to pay him. It's just a question of how much. I think 12 to 15 is a fair price based on what he's done up to this point. I wouldn't pay more than that. Because again, he's not a scoring option on the court at all. I would love to have a big that can do what he does and also be a threat on the offensive side at any degree. He's not an offensive threat at all outside of the restricted area.
Yeah, I wouldn't go over 12 for him, because
I think he would take 12. I think he would because of the fact that he didn't go to college. You know, he's from a small town in Louisiana, and he's young. And if you sign up to a 4-year contract, by the end of that, he's still going to be 26 or 27, and he can get another bag before his days are done in basketball.
Yeah, well,
and you have to take into account that maybe he likes playing in New York, so he'll give the hometown discount maybe to the Knicks because of the fact that he likes to be here. Maybe, unless he wants to go home. But again, you know, or down, at least down in that area, down towards Charlotte or Florida or what have you. Who knows?
We'll see. I think we overreact to each game, win or loss. We get too high or we get too low. So
yeah, I was telling Steven that earlier too. I mean, there's other spots on the team that we need to have a bigger priority. I think if we can shore up our power forward and our center with Mitch and Randall, we need the next position that I feel we have to cement is we can put RJ at the 3, but we need to get our point guard situation settled. We really do, with someone that's going to be holding that position for years to come.
I don't see that happening until the draft.
No, neither do I. I mean, anywhere we get outside of that is going to just be a temporary Band-Aid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
you know what I mean? And I really don't want to bring in an older player on the other side of 34 years old whose years are behind him, unless you're going to be using him to coach up his replacement that we already have in house. Let's say we draft a Cade Cunningham, for instance. I'm just throwing a name out there. I wouldn't mind bringing in a vet who is willing to share his knowledge on the court with a Cade Cunningham for a couple of years, so he can step in and carry the load in a couple of years.
Yeah.
Because I point guards are hard to draft and plug in right away unless you're a surefire. You don't see too many point guards. And you have the guy in what is it, Minnesota? No, not
John
Minnesota.
Morant.
Yeah, like he's an exception to the rule. Like you were able to draft him and plug him right in. But how many John Morants are you gonna? Since this is why I don't want the Knicks to play themselves out of the lottery, because if you're going to get a point guard of that caliber, your chances of getting one in this draft are greater than the future drafts.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I really don't want the Knicks to play themselves out of the lottery unless they have some type of plan to trade themselves back in. And they do have the assets to do that, but we don't know what their thinking is.
I wouldn't mind having Sexton right now. Whew.
Oh man, you see what he did to the Nets?
Yeah. Wow.
On the second overtime, he beat them all by himself. Basically, he did like 3 or 4 3-pointers.
Yeah, he had 40 something. Yeah.
Yeah, he really went off.
We dodged that bullet. He didn't play.
Yeah, but I would like to see. I would like to see us how we do with a full healthy roster in the Cavaliers when we play them again. See how it'll be a good measurement barometer on how where we are defensively, and what we can do with a Colin Sexton. But we're gonna see that tonight when we go up against Fox. We're gonna see that tonight. We're gonna see what we can do against Fox. He's fast. I mean,
remember the Cavs got Jared Allen now too. So.
Yeah, I think that was an integral piece the Nets had to give up to pull off that trade. I think the Cavs got a good one there, good young player.
Yeah, the Nets didn't want to give him up. They got 3 spots open. They need to fill it in with some size.
But you know what?
Defense.
The Cavs exposed the Nets' lack of defense yesterday. The Cavs made the Nets play defense, and they weren't able to. They weren't able to do it. And I think a team like the Nets, who can outscore, they can outscore a lot of teams, but when teams in the playoffs, it becomes a half court game and a defensive. The teams that can play defense tend to go deeper into the playoffs than those that can't.
They're gonna sign them a Mitch. Watch.
They're gonna do what?
They're gonna sign a Mitch type player.
I mean, I won't be surprised if the Knicks get phone calls about Mitch.
No, not Mitch, but a Mitch type player.
Where are they gonna find? We mean for this year's run?
Yeah, the Nets.
Where are they gonna find that?
Probably.
Give me a player that might be available. Who?
McGee.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, if McGee can give you what he gave the Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, if he can revert back to that. Yeah, isn't McGee on the Cavaliers right now also?
Yeah. Yeah.
But the thing is this: what do the Nets have to give the Cavaliers? I mean, they basically depleted all of their assets
No, I think
just
they
to
was
get
going.
part.
I think they was going to just cut. I think they was going to cut McGee if they ain't do it yet
Why would they do that?
because they got Allen and Drummond.
Oh, right. So he's a third wheel, right.
Yeah,
Yeah, pick him up off waivers or
yeah,
that's an option.
yeah,
He would definitely help them. I mean, he's not going to hurt them defensively. He can only help them.
yeah.
And yeah,
Freezy, let Jonathan in. Because I know you're about to shut it down in a minute.
yeah, it's about time for lunch. I'm about to cut out. You know, I met Andre Drummond.
Oh, yeah?
Here at my job. I've met Andre Drummond. I've met Noel's Norland Noel when he was with Philly, when he came into the city, when he busted his knee. He came into New York for surgery and he stayed here. I also met Smart from Boston. And I met remember when the MMA fighter who busted up that bus?
Oh, yeah.
The Irish guy.
You at Presbyterian?
No, I'm at a hotel.
Oh.
I'm at a hotel in New York.
Oh, okay.
We're currently closed because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
I'm just here because of the we haven't shut down. We're gonna be reopening, so we have to have some staff here just to keep an eye on the place.
Oh, okay.
But that man, what's that guy? I'm not into MMA, so I don't remember his name. But the Irish guy who came to the garden and threw that cart through the window.
McGregor.
McGregor.
I'm not calling.
Yeah, he's been here. Colin McGregor, I think his name is.
Yeah.
He's been here a couple of times. He's crazy. He's a wild man, that guy. Yeah, so you get a lot of athletes that come through here. Andre Drummond's a big dude, man.
Yeah, he's huge. Pause.
And so is Noel. Noel's is a tall dude too. I'm 6'2", and that guy dwarfed. I think he's what, 6'11".
Yeah, he's 6'11". He real skinny though.
Yeah, he's real thin. Yeah. He had that injury that when he was with Philadelphia that he had his leg. I forgot what injury. I think it was a knee. And he basically had the surgery and stayed here and recouped.
Yeah, he was a bust.
Yeah, but he played a good defensive game tonight. He had 4 blocks. Listen, he's got his use. He's got his uses. As long as you don't expect too much or you don't ask too much of him, he's got his uses.
He's a number 6 pick.
I know. He definitely came in with more expectations than he was able to live up to. But for what he gives you, as long as you don't ask for more of what he can give. You know, he's not an offensive threat at all. You know, he's basically like a baby Mitch, basically.
And they could have had Greek Freak in that same draft. They could have had Greek Freak.
I think a lot of teams
they could have had McCollum.
Missed out on him, right? Because he went late in the first round, didn't he?
Yeah, he went 15th. They could have had McCollum. They could have had Schroeder.
If you made a list of all the players the Knicks could have had, man, you'd be the
Goldberg.
This would be a mile long.
Goldberg, 127th from that draft.
The thing is, what's even more embarrassing is not the players they could have had, but the players they took instead.
Yeah, that was the bust. Yo, Anthony Bennett. That was the Anthony Bennett draft.
That guy's got to be the bust of all busts. Can you think of any bigger bust than that? He went number 1 to the Cavaliers, and
yeah,
Who knows what he's doing now? But wasn't he with? Wait a minute. Wasn't he? He was with Brooklyn for a short time.
Yeah. They gave him a chance. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's bad.
I don't know. I don't know what the Cavs were thinking.
Yeah.
They must have thought they saw something.
He was on a different team the first 4 years,
Mm-hmm.
and now he with nobody. Probably in.
Yeah, because when you get drafted that high in the draft, you're going to get second chances, maybe third chances, but 5th
Mhm.
and 6th chances are not coming your way.
Yep.
If you haven't proven yourself by the end of your original contract, that's it. No one's going to extend you when you haven't shown an ounce of the potential they thought they had in you.
Yeah.
It ain't going to happen.
Poor guy.
Well,
Yeah. Tell Freezy to take us out. It looked like it's a wrap.
all right, Chuck.
It's 3:00. All right.
If you want, bounce out. I'll just close it up and then I'll
Okay.
just leave it at that.
All
All right,
right.
Chuck. I'll see
Yep.
you tomorrow.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.
All right, folks. So we're gonna end it here. Good win tonight by the Knicks. Hopefully, we can pull one out tonight against the Kings, Sacramento. We're playing in Sacramento against the Kings. My take on it basically is if defensively we can hold our own like we did tonight and hold the Kings' best players to defensively to hold them down defensively, we have a good chance. So subscribe to the Knicks at Night podcast, share, hit that like button, and also check out Freezy each morning at the Knicks Morning Drive. And that's it. All right, folks, have a good night. One.